scammies off of laptops, Iraqis till my shit pop. Don't treat it like a pit stop or you might get your shit rocked. The flies where they kick rock, so nigga watch your snot box. The dine is always tip top, just blame it on pure hip hop. My niggas know I've been high. I used to hit the hood and pray for knots, then hit the block with blueprint in the speaker box. I know it's cold, but the block's hot, and dirty waters like the cop. When will it ever stop? This fly city state of mind, while a nigga only grind. Cause I saw my nigga shine, but then he caught a 3 to 9 for toting straps at the Coney. And plus the ops on get back, so you know I got it on me.
Fuckin' with my block, this shit gets dangerous. Fuckin' with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fuckin' with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, my nigga, it's a movie. Fuckin' with my block, this shit get dangerous. Fuckin' with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fuckin' with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, my nigga, it's a movie. I'm from the block with niggas, chase figures. We Mr. Homies is dead, we pour liquor. You dudes goofy like John Ritter. Nutcrackers from summer to winter. From the projects they call Murder Hill. You get body and they got the burner still. Don't forget the arcade and the pizza shop. Camping out the Dr. J's when sneakers drop. 4th of July, you hear the guns pop. Got it from the back of the trunk, not gun shops. Looking for the dude with the bud on the corner. People start wilding out when weather's warmer. Hard to find a regular job that pays good. Main reason why dudes hustle in the hood. Shell shock from these cops that act racist. They don't like us cause our black faces. Locking up innocent dudes that lose cases. These projects is known for their mazes. My block similar to Double Dragon. Right around the corner the ops stay clashing. It's a passion, we grind for rations. Just imagine the clubs we crashing. Fuckin' with my block, this shit gets dangerous. Fuckin' with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fuckin' with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, my nigga, it's a movie. Fuckin' with my block, this shit get dangerous. Fuckin' with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fuckin' with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, my nigga, it's a movie.
Okay, am I good now? I should be good now. Jeez Louise. Yo, I swear, B. I hate technology. I swear I hate technology. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, yeah, I seen it. It just started wigging out. Like, this is what happened, right? When I started doing my cold open when it comes to the Owen Hart tournament, my thoughts on the Mercedes Moné and Hangman Page winning, the volume just went out. It just automatically muted me, right? So I'm like, it might be a short in the plug. So I'm like, cool. Let me see what's going on with that. It came to the point where I left the stage. So I'm backstage trying to, calibrate, do whatever I got to do. Every time I would try to turn my camera on, it'll mute me, and vice versa. I turn my mic on, turn the camera off, and I kept doing like that till eventually my whole screen just went black. But I'm like, nah, we're not gonna end the night. We're not gonna end the night like that. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pull up. We're gonna still do what we do. Thank you. Appreciate y'all for coming back. I appreciate y'all patience and all that. You know how retarded this damn StreamYard technology, all this. You know how dumb this shit is. So you already know how it gives it up. Now, before I open up the floodgates again, what I was trying to say was I would have went about the whole Owen Hart Cup different. Like when it comes to the winners, I was saying that Ospreay should have won and Jamie Hayter should have won. First, when it comes to Hangman, or Hangman, like we like to say, he had his time already. So what if All Out or All In is pause is going to be in Texas? Who the fuck cares? This dude is barely a cowboy as is. Let's really be real. Not only that, he had his time. You know what I'm saying? Hangman had his time in the sun. He was a AEW champion already. If anything, he should have been AEW champion last year when he was on that arsonist tear. When he was just, that's when I started feeling Hangman around that time. I was like, yeah, I could fuck with this dude, like the unhinged cowboy, whatever the case may be. I was here for that. Right? Right, Ballet. He's a cowboy from the city. I was here for last year's Hangman. And there's no shout towards him now because I still like Hangman. Like from before, I thought he was goofy, whatever, but I grown to like him. Pause. Now it was supposed to be Ospreay's time. Ospreay did not win the AEW championship yet. And you gotta strike while the iron is hot. You mean to tell me I'm really waiting for these dudes to go to the UK for him to have his big moment? Why? Who knows if Ospreay is still gonna be popping like that when they go cross seas, when they go across the pond? I just don't agree with that decision. It's stupid. Like Hangman versus Mox, I really don't care about that. It's gonna be a good match, granted. You got Swerve. He plugged himself into it. You got Ospreay, of course, gonna hold him down, have his back. That's it. I'll say this though. Mox is winning, right? Mox is gonna win. Trust and believe. If you think Mox ain't winning the All In, tripping. I'll be highly surprised if Hangman wins. That's what I'm saying, because especially given the fact that they lost to Anarchy in the arena. Come on. Now, when it comes to Mercedes Moné, I know it's no surprise she was going to win, but I'm like, damn, did she really have to win? No. Why Jamie Hayter could have won on the Owen Hart Cup? And I'm not saying have her beat Mercedes Moné clean. They could have had Athena pull up and cost her, given the fact that Mercedes Moné cheesehead to beat her. People forgot she held the tights. She held the blood clot tights. Great match between her, Mercedes Moné and Athena. Yes, it was a really good match. But they didn't spin the block on it. They just forgot about it. Like, oh, well, let's move on. When it comes to Athena, back to the ghetto you go. And that's it. Nah, man. They should have had her come out and cost her the Owen Hart finals. And then that's when you have two matches. You will have Mercedes Moné versus Athena in a blood feud. And you have Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. Easy. Now, I'm very interested in a Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné match. Don't get me wrong. I am interested. I am interested to see what happens with that. The whole "it's not going to work for me, brother or sister." You know how they both give it up. That's going to be interesting. I wish I was a fly on the wall when it came to that creative meeting, but that's my takes on that. And I don't care. I think the company would have benefited more if Jamie Hayter and Ospreay won the respective Owens. And it is what it is. Go Black Soul. Black Star say, good and damn well it was because Max liked Hangman. That's why he won. Yeah. I mean, Mox, excuse me. Let's see. Yeah. It wouldn't have hurt Mercedes Moné. It wouldn't have hurt her at all. Why she couldn't just win? Like, come on. And then that's the other thing, too. Is this going to be title versus title when it comes to Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm? Well, it's not going to happen either, Black Star. The AEW World Briefcase title. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. I'm not even up to that. I'm up to the match with Javon Evans and them. Anyways, let's get to it, B. Late edition. Council Roundtable episode 297. Continuation of it. Because a blood clot StreamYard. StreamYard, you done kill me dead, my son. All wrong with you, the man. Pow! Right there. There you go, B. Drop that link. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. Yeah, man. I told you the way the match was done, that they were one and done. You did say that. I'm just mad it really went down like that. Like, what? And she fucking cheated. It's not like it was like, you know what? One undone, you beat me clean. Mercedes Moné held it tight. And they expect this to just forget it. This is shit that be getting me mad about this fucking... Let's have fun tonight. Let's just have fun tonight. Yo, because it's like, yo, Mackenzie with a doodle. Who sneakers? Oh, he's when the who this dude Cody Rhodes. Yeah, I ain't up to that yet. What's going on with that? That's all said. Nope, she has creative. That won't happen. The only way she gets a world title is if the Ring of Honor title is on the line at Final Battle. If I'm doing a 300 episode special, I don't know. I've been thinking about it, but I'll keep y'all up to date. I'll keep y'all posted when it comes to that. Of course he is. That's all this dude does is fucking talk us to death. You know what I mean? I'm a sucker for a good story, but it's like, so what do you want to talk about? How about you beating the shit out this dude John Cena for kicking you in the dick consistently? Let's talk about that, Cody Rhodes. Pissing me the fuck off. Yeah, yo, you see that? She's out of here. She packed her bags. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Britt Baker was gonna be the first one to do that shit. Where the fuck is Britt Baker? Like, we ain't getting no update on her. No update on Camille. Where's Camille? AEW is weird when it comes to shit like that. Okay, so yeah. Like I said, I'm watching the match with the tag team match between what's it for these Humberto and them against Javon Evans and Dragon Lee or Ray. Damn, now you got me doing that shit, King Eric. They do look alike too, like Dragon Lee and fucking Ray Phoenix. Like, They do look hella alike. They're not even trying to hide that shit. And that's not good. It's like, yo, you gotta have most of these luchadors look distinct from each other. They can't all look alike. You can't, like, how are you gonna be able to tell them apart? Yeah. Where is she? Last time I seen her, I think was she doing a show with Kevin Hart, that cold ass ball show, pause, when they dunked their body in the ice water. Ray Phoenix almost broke his ankle off that spin kick. She made it crystal clear before the Hollywood ended that she wasn't resigning and heading to WWE. Oh, I didn't know that. So it was a Hollywood ending for real, for real. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm here for that smoke when it comes to Tony Storm also. It's only Mercedes Moné. Tony Storm is on that type of time too, low key, because be fucking kidding me. Okay, I was saying from before that me and Toph, as a matter of fact, he was also saying like, yo, I won't be surprised if Megan Bang pulls a Brock Lesnar or Sheamus. He had beat John Cena in a shocking finish. We may never know, Ballet. We may never know. And it's weird because it's like, of course I am blacks. I mean, on Blaze. Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? How am I now? Yeah, I know. Like, the shit tripping out today. Oh no, my laptop mad at me. I might have to get my other laptop for future reference. And my shit glitch. Everything is everything is tripping. Now my damn motherfucking my shit glitching up, my TV glitching up, everything glitching up, B. Holy cow! This dude Javon Evans jumped off the top ring post with a dive outside the ring. That's funny though. Didn't he just come from calling this dude Tony Khan a crackhead? Now he's having the main roster match. It's funny how life plays out from time to time. John Cena. That dude John Cena is holding that belt hostage. Like, I'm not feeling this shit. He holding this belt hostage. Like, oh, Jay Uso pulled up. Yo, who did Ethan Page beat for the North American Championship again? Yeah, you've been calling shit out, Black Saw, but it's like with that shit with this dude Bronson Reed. It's stupid. I totally don't agree with Bronson Reed joining Seth Rollins. I think that shit is very stupid. And we got a lame excuse. Anubis was around when he said this before he said the excuse. When we was watching Saturday night's main event, I joked about it. I was like, yo, basically this dude put him on a team because he almost killed them. And they literally admitted it. What? How bogus can you be? That makes Bronson Reed look like a complete idiot. Why would you join somebody that you almost packed up? Matter of fact, you did pack him up. Why would you join him? What do you have to gain out of joining him if you can easily wash him up? What are we doing here? Toph.
Yo.
What it do though?
Chilling. The weather's been pretty blah in like a lot of the southeast and the Midwest this week. It's like there's been like severe storms every other day. That may or may not be affecting I don't know.
My connection, not really. It's really just my laptop. Like my laptop getting old. I gotta get a new one eventually. But yeah, we got a shitload of topics to talk about. We wanna start with.
I'm not really sure. Been a pretty busy week, really.
Yeah, very busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did you hear the cold open about my thoughts about Mercedes Moné and Hangman winning the Owen?
No, I just got here. What'd you say?
Okay, basically I was saying that I disagree with both of them winning the Owen. I think Ospreay should have won the Owen because given the fact that Hangman he had his time ready to be heavyweight champion, and it's Ospreay's time because Ospreay is hot right now. Why wait till they go to the UK to eventually put the belt on him? I think that's a mistake because you don't know if Ospreay's going to be as hot as he was. As he's not going to be as hot then as he is now. It's not a guarantee. And when it comes to Mercedes Moné, I was saying that it wouldn't hurt her if Jamie Hayter would have beat her, not clean, but have Athena come through and cost her the match. I don't think it would have hurt Mercedes Moné to lose the Owen Hart Cup, and then you would have had two matches for All In. You would have Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm, and you'd have a grudge match between Mercedes Moné and Athena. And also, given the fact that remember she cheated to beat Athena, she held the tights. So you got a built-in grudge match right there. Got her pulling the tights, and you also got Athena costing her in the finals. They could have spun the block on that. Let's say you.
I'm fine with Hangman winning. I agree on the Mercedes thing, though. I would have preferred Jamie to win, but what they're doing is they're basically doing like what Vince would do. Because at WrestleMania, a lot of times Vince would book, what's the biggest match we can do, even if it doesn't make continuity sense. You know, it's like let's get the two biggest stars and have them face each other. So I guess TK is like, well, the biggest woman stars we have is Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné. Yeah. So, and star power wise, that's true. But I agree with what you're saying that if you do the Athena thing, then you're getting two big women's matches instead of just one, right, which I think would be better. So,
right. And I'm like, this is what I was talking about when it comes to Mercedes Moné. It's like, yo, wow. And Toni Storm was on that type of time too, low key. Let's not get it fucked up. it's getting to the point now where she's not getting anybody over. Like she had a chance to do it with Megan Bain. Remember we was talking about that. What was that? What they for that Dynasty? Before Dynasty, we was both saying like, yo, we wouldn't be mad if she'd have pulled the Sheamus and have a shock victory against Toni Storm. It wouldn't have hurt her. And that would have solidified Megan Bain as a legitimate dominant force. She didn't have to be in a long title reign. She could have had the belt for like a month or two.
Yeah, I would have been mad at that.
You know what I'm saying?
I am happy that Hangman won though. I thought the match was really good. Liked the story, like really good storytelling. I like this story that they're telling is very interesting with Ospreay trying to be like the voice of reason between Swerve and Hangman. I get it. Like they're trying to do the whole Avengers Endgame. We all got to come together, but everybody's beefing with each other and all that.
Yeah. But didn't they do this from before? Like how much Avengers Endgames are gonna do against
Well, WWE did it, but nothing like that in AEW. No.
Wait, hold on. You sure? Shit, they low key did it not too long ago with these dudes for Anarchy in the Arena.
No, I'm talking like for a big title match, where the title's on the line, like that type of moment, I see Cena still wearing merch.
Yeah, y'all way ahead of me. I'm still up to the part what's her name? Alba Fire going up against what's shorty name? Zelina Vega.
She's awful, bro. I'm sorry. She's
Zelina Vega.
Yeah. I like her. I've actually met her before at a TNA event many years ago. She's a kindred spirit. She likes Pokemon. I like Pokemon. She likes anime. I like anime. She was a big Aaliyah fan. I was a big Aaliyah fan. So I like her as a person, but she's no good in the ring. She's awful.
Yeah.
And she only has the title because her husband's back in the company. Like that's all. And Chelsea did.
You think that was basically them like playing nice, like you know what, you've done a lot for the company, so we make you mid-card champion, and we bring in your husband and give you a nice feel-good moment. Yeah,
yeah, he did Chelsea dirty because Chelsea's like really good, but you never know because she's always doing comedy shit.
She's doing great character development. I definitely give her that. Comedy character or not, she's doing great character development, and she could go in the ring. It's just that she's always losing. It's like it doesn't have to be like that. I don't understand WWE logic.
They basically made her female R-Truth.
Right. It's like she don't have to be like just because you're a comedic character doesn't mean you always got to lose your matches. So Black Sauce said WWE is now doing Return of the Jedi. Which Black Sauce, the Johnny Ace shit. I didn't really read into that. Like, what did he put this dude Vince underneath the bus or something like that? What's going on with that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he pretty much was like, all this shit was Vince's idea. That's basically what he did. It's like you and your homie get in trouble. And both of y'all are like, man, fuck the teachers, fuck the school, man. We're going to go together. Then you go to the principal's office and you're just like, nah, man, that was him. That wasn't me.
That was all his idea.
That's what he did, basically.
And it's like, man, look, how old is y'all or not? Is he trying to go to jail for no 20 yet? What? Like, this motherfucker's already 80 years old as is. Imagine that shit. You going to jail as an old-ass man. Ain't nobody trying to do that. But I'll say this though, if he was guilty of anything, that's some bullshit on his behalf. Because it's like, my dude, if you out there on that same type of time as Vince or Diddy, and he just threw him underneath the bus like that, you ain't shit. They like Chelsea Green backstage because she can do everything. Yeah, she can do everything but win a match. That'd be the shit that's killing me. It's like, shit. So what's your thoughts on what's your thoughts on this dude Bronson Reed joining Seth Rollins and them?
I saw a clip the other day. I couldn't believe it. I had to do a double take because all this dude does is simp for WWE. So I was like, wait, what? I was on Twitter and somebody posted a clip from Busted Open, and it was Bully Ray of all people. And he said that he wasn't feeling Rollins' group. And his exact words was, it's very forced. That's what he said. I'm like, wait, what?
It's stupid.
Yeah, he said it's forced. What I'm surprised at is the fact that it doesn't even have a name yet. WWE is usually pretty good at stuff like marketing, because usually in WWE, you'd be hearing stories of stuff being trademarked like weeks, or months before something happens or a big debut.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Because look at the Pride. They didn't have none.
Right. Yeah, that's like the only example I can think of in like more recent years. But yeah, this shit's forced. Like when they first started it, like when it happened, and like honestly, because WrestleMania was just not good, I feel like Triple H pushed the panic button and was like, all right, we gotta do something on Raw to get like people buzzing to like, change the narrative, whatever. So then when Braun joined him and stuff, I'm thinking like, okay, we're gonna get like a WWE version of the Dangerous Alliance. That's kind of what I thought this was going.
Right.
But now that we're like about a month into this stuff, it's like, no, this is not a Dangerous Alliance thing. This is just basically Seth with like, they basically have taken Braun and they've taken Reed, and they're just generic cronies.
Diet
and the thing
bloodline.
about it is, and the thing about it is, Seth has actually
bloodline diet.
Right, and the thing about it is Seth has actually done this twice.
Yeah,
he did it with Buddy
Matthews.
He did it with the dude from the Straight Edge Society. I can't think of his name. Punk is like friends with him in real life, and he did it with Jamie Noble, J&J Security or something.
Yeah, J&J Security, and then he did the Monday Night Messiah with Buddy Matthews.
Right, then he did that again with Buddy, and then with the Autos of Pain. That was like before COVID like blew everything to hell. So, in fairness to them, we didn't really see how far that would have gone anyway. But all they did was they.
Would you say this? Would you say this? Would you say he sucks when it comes to stables? Seth Rollins, he's not a good stable leader.
No, he's not. No.
I agree.
No, he's not.
Because he didn't get nobody over. Every stable he's in, who did he ever get over?
Himself. That's it.
Like he almost turned Buddy Matthews into a pedophile. Remember, he was messing with Aaliyah and shit. Like Aaliyah was barely legal at the time. The fuck?
Yeah. But right now, it's just looking like they're just taking Bronson and Braun, and they're just making them just generic heavies for Seth. I'm just like, that's lame, bro. I thought this was going to be like a Dangerous Alliance type of thing.
And that's the thing too. These dudes legitimately could beat him in a one-on-one match. That's the main thing that don't make any sense. This dude Bronson Reed packed up Seth Rollins. How's the next thing you do joining him? That makes you look retarded. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. And we didn't get no excuse. Well, the excuse was like what I just said. Paul Heyman said, like, oh, the reason why he joined it because he's a killer and he almost took out Seth Rollins. And it was like a real vague excuse, but that's what he was alluding to.
That's what Bully meant when he said it felt forced. I agree with that. It does.
And you got JD say, oh, what more of excuse do you need? I'm like, JD, shut your punk ass up. That's why motherfuckers be saying you a WWE shit, because if AEW would have did some shit like that, he would have lost his mind. And I'm not even saying he's a WWE shit, but shit like that makes you think like, yo, Come on, like, cause you wouldn't be in that same type of time if AEW did that shit. You would be like,
all
oh
JD
my
does,
god,
bro.
what's going on here?
And
Fuck
no,
this.
all JD does, bro. I figured him out, man. He just rides the wave of whatever is the trend at the time. If TNA started popping, he started covering that. If fucking CCW started popping, he would cover that. He only follows the trend. He's a
Right.
follower. He's not a leader. That's what he is.
Nigga, sit there and say some bullshit. Matter of fact, we're not even gonna talk about that dude. Like, it's whatever. Before he end up hitting my shit, he might hit, oh my god, these dudes talking about me. Hit the channel.
Yeah, he might be on that fresh and fit bullshit.
Little Black's also talking about. I think it would have been so much worse if it was Obafemi and Braun. I'll say this: it should have been either or. I think it should have been some fresh talent. If you're gonna go there with Seth Rollins, get some fresh bodies. Like Braun Breaker, he doesn't need to be nobody's bodyguard. That's the main thing. They should have fucking sent Braun Breaker to SmackDown and give him a hard reset.
I think the problem really at its core, the main issue I have with the Seth stuff is if he's just trying to be the world heavyweight champion, he doesn't need any of this shit to do so. He can do it on his own. He doesn't need Heyman to be world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
He doesn't need Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker or anybody. He
He's
doesn't need money.
He's done it by himself.
Yeah, he doesn't need money in the bank.
Why you need all these people now all of a sudden? And they want to sit there and talk shit about Roman. Oh, Roman had power this. Roman did this and that. But you basically doing the same fucking thing. You look like a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, that part of the story doesn't really make any sense. It really, you know what I really think it is? I think really what it is, I think Seth is, whether he wants to admit it or not, I think a part of him is like salty because he looked at Roman and he's probably seeing what Mox is doing in AEW. And whether people think Death Riders are good or not, he's looking at Roman, he's looking at Mox, and he's just like, man, my two dudes got that heel run where they just ran shit. And I feel like he wants that for himself. Because he really does feel that way. He feels like he's never really been the guy. He feels like he's never really like been the guy with the wheel. He's like in the front seat or like near the front seat, but that's kind of where I'm thinking it. I just think there's a part of
no,
it
you're
like,
right.
oh, yeah,
you're right because you feel like it's like how he's moving. Because you feel like, yo, I became a workhorse champion. That didn't work. So maybe I should be a stable leader now, given the fact that it worked for these dudes. You know, I don't know why he think it worked for the Death Riders, but it definitely worked for the Bloodline.
Right. It doesn't matter if people don't like the Death Rider. The thing is that Mox is still on that spot. You know, he's in a spot where him and his
he's
crew,
legitimate. He's a legitimate main eventer.
Right. That I think that's really what it is. And that's like if he feels that way, fair enough. They just need to capture those real resenting feelings and try to like, all right, let's translate this on TV and a promo where you can explain like why you're doing like because you just said he was a hypocrite. Like, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Let's explore that. And it's like it's not being explored. It's just like just go with it. Don't ask questions.
Right.
But I think what I'm confused too is why, like, okay, fine, Bronson Reed's in a good spot, but
well, hold on. To be fair, Sami Zayn did mention that in the promo. He did mention that he's being a hypocrite, and he tried to say, like, "Oh, this ain't the bloodline. This nothing like the bloodline." I'm like, really, sir? How is this not the bloodline? Oh yeah, I forgot. The bloodline was more talented.
I think where I'm confused, like it's a good spot for Bronson Reed, but where I'm confused is why do you have like, you know, two meatheads? Pause. Like, why do you have two destroyers? Because typically when you do a faction, you want to balance it out. Like,
yeah, you just need one heavy. That's it.
Yeah, like one heavy, one athletic person or whatever. Like I'm thinking, okay. Like,
as a matter of fact, I didn't mean to cut you off. Remember, he did this shit with the the Authors of Pain also. They were two heavies, and look what happened with that.
Right. Well, to be fair, I'm not gonna shield him or WWE for that because COVID ruined that. So we'll never know how far that could have gone because he had just started cooking that during COVID. Well, no, he started cooking that like at the beginning of 2020, and then COVID shut everything down, and then people were stuck overseas. But I don't think it would have, even though we never really got to see it, to its full fruition. I don't believe it would have really made a big dent in his career. I don't think he would have won the Universal title or whatever title was on Raw. I don't fucking remember. I think no, it was the WWE title. I don't think he would have won the WWE title. I think Drew was going to win that shit regardless. So
I think the Universal title was there. I think. I could be wrong, but who cares?
We are right.
So let's see. Seth is the Charlotte Flair of groups. Me. Yeah, Black Star. Remember, I was saying that from before. I was saying that they should do a trade. They should do the trade. LA Knight going to Raw, and this dude Braun Breaker going to SmackDown. Like, have this dude LA Knight like the heel he was when he's $1 million champion in NXT. Like, but how I would have it, it would be like a surprise. Have him surprisingly cash in on Jey Uso as a heel.
Speaking of that, I just saw the match on TV. It was a triple threat with Fatu, Andrade, and Carmelo for the Money in the Bank qualifier. Now, obviously, nobody in this match is going to win Money in the Bank anyway. Right. But it's still a good spot to be in. Carmelo really needed that win, man. Andrade did not need that win. Carmelo needed it. Like, Carmelo wasn't going to win Money in the Bank, but it really would have been a good spot for him to be in to, just show what he has to offer.
Of course.
So this is what I'm talking about when I say that Triple H doesn't know how to book black talent. What he's doing is he's doing the passive aggressive shit that Sandman and I talked about. He's putting people of color on TV as to say, like, okay, here, I'm going to give you something. But he's not actively doing anything. Like, okay, I'm going to give you guys the titles, but I'm not going to push you. Because you can do that. You can make someone a champion and not push them. As dumb as that is, you can do that. That's what he's doing with the New Day. And that's what he's doing with the Street Profits. They're like, okay, because it's funny because Triple H says, oh, well, how is he racist when both tag team champions are black? They're not doing anything.
And not only that, they're a fucking tag team. There's a thing that really frustrates me. It's like, oh, we gave you something. Be satisfied. No, we want to be in the WWE Championship picture consistently. Right. You got John Cena holding a belt hostage. This is like one of the worst title reigns so far when it comes to WWE Championship. Let's really be real. Who gives a fuck if this is his last run? It's his 17th title when this shit is trash. It is. Anybody else could be, I ain't gonna lie, on some real G shit, Jacob Fatu could have been WWE champion right now and it'd be more lit. I'm going there with it.
Yep. Yeah.
It would be. What the fuck is Cena doing? I'm trying to ruin wrestling. Motherfucker, you been ruined wrestling. The fuck type of time this dude is on?
Yeah, man, I'm really sorry about the Cena shit.
Yeah, I mean too, because I really wish it would have worked. You heard the reaction. I was super duper here for it.
Yeah, it's pretty apparent what's going on at this point. Because that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling John, and John he hates Dewey so much, and yeah, Dewey absolutely played a part in this shit. But if we're being honest, and this is the part that John doesn't want to hear, and a lot of fans don't want to hear, it's not all Dewey's fault. Triple H deserves some of the blame, and Cena deserves some of the blame.
He deserves half of the blame, like most. Right, I would say most of the blame, because Triple H, he had a long time to figure something out.
Right, and he didn't. That's what Rock was trying to say. People were so angry at The Rock that they were just kind of glancing over, and I'm just like, no, like, let's pause for a second. He wanted Cody to go heel because Rock was basically saying they didn't have any plans to do anything else. So there was no WrestleMania match penciled in for Cody. So
That's insane.
I know. So,
And
so
he got what they do though.
Yeah, so they're turning Cena heel. So it's pretty clear what this is now. Like, cause it's been 2 months now, so we can call it. It's pretty clear what this is. Well, Cena was already phoning it in. Now it's even more apparent he's phoning it in. He's not going to change. He's not going to be innovative. He's not going to. This isn't going to work. Basically, he's just going to keep the title warm, and he's going to drop it back to Cody, probably by SummerSlam, and that's it.
Hopefully by SummerSlam.
Right, because they got to turn him back face, and he's got to retire as a face. So this is not going to be like a CM Punk Ring of Honor type thing where he's going to have the title and then like he's going to drop it like at the very last date before he's like no, he's going to lose the belt to Cody, and then Cena's going to go back. And the unfortunate thing is losing it back to Cody. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but that's just right back to status quo. Like, okay, we're right back to where we were. So, like, if that's the case, you should have just had Cody win then. Okay.
And it's like Cody, let's really be real. Cody really didn't even do much with his WWE Championship reign. He didn't do much.
Because I'm looking at the roster right now, and it's like, all right, if Cody wins it back at SummerSlam, I'm looking at the roster on Raw and SmackDown. And I'm like, who's facing Cody at Mania next year? And I'm looking at the Raw roster. I'm looking at the SmackDown roster. I'm like, what person could he face in the main event that could realistically be like a big money match? And obviously, you can't predict what's going to happen within a year because you just don't know. But right now, no name stands out because he's faced everybody of note. Anybody.
Blackstar said he should face Aleister Black. Aleister Black is not ready. He only had 3 matches?
Well, like I said, we're talking about like Mania next year. So, I mean, realistically, who knows who could get over in a year, but yeah. But yeah, Cena's just phoning it in. This shit is it's a flop. Because some people are being nice about it. They're just like, oh, let's give it a little bit more time. Like, no, it's a flop.
How much time do you need?
Yeah. It's a flop.
I find it so funny. They'll say, give that a little time. But when before Jey Uso even won the title, they was like, oh, he's not the guy. Yeah. Like, damn, he didn't even win the belt yet. But y'all want to give
what's really upsetting, too? What's really upsetting? And also, because earlier, and let me go back a little bit. Yeah. I said that, Dewey deserves a lot of blame. And I said Triple H deserves the blame. But I also said Cena himself is also part of the blame. And to piggyback on that, I saw a YouTube clip. I know people may have noticed this. Stephanie McMahon has a podcast now. I forgot what it's called, but she's been interviewing people. Good
Stephanie's Places or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she's doing her own thing. Good on her. She interviewed Cena. Her last episode, she interviewed Cena, and Cena was wearing this blue suit. Had his hair done, looking like an Injustice Superman. I like it. And it's like, wait a minute. So you can wear a suit to an interview looking like a dick, but you can't be bothered to do it on television.
Right.
And then Stephanie's asking Cena all these questions about his childhood, his bodybuilding career, the rapping story and how she heard him rap on the bus, his dislike for The Rock and how they became good friends in real life, so they're going through all the the valleys and stuff like that.
No, whoa! You gotta slow down with that. That was some good questions she asked him. What did he say? Can you elaborate a little bit? When it comes to her discovering him spitting balls on the bus, or I didn't even know he had legitimate heat with The Rock. What happened?
Yeah, when they were feuding in 2011, 2012, they hated each other. Remember that one time when Cena mentioned that Rock was reading a line off his wrist?
Right.
That was ad lib. He wasn't supposed to say that. If you go back, here's the funny thing for you. Do this right. Well, not right now. When the show's over, do you do this? And everyone listening, do this. Go back and watch that promo where Cena mentioned that Rock was reading off of his arm. If you read The Rock's lips, he says, "You little fuck." That's what he said.
Called him lacking.
right. He was like, "You little fuck." So yeah. So they didn't like each other like that. So, Stephanie basically saved his career, because he was on the chopping block. He was going to get fired, until he heard Cena spitting bars in the back of the bus. They were like somewhere overseas. It was like a Europe tour or something. And then Stephanie was like, "Hey, yo, can you drop a beat right now?" And Cena was like, "No." He was like, "Cool." And he dropped the beat, and Stephanie's like, "Okay." And then
I heard this dude, Brian Hebner. Was it Brian Hebner or who's it? Kyoto? What was one of those motherfuckers that's? I think it was Kyoto.
It was Kyoto.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, he know how to spit. He know how to spit beats.
Right. Yeah, that saved this. Yeah, that saved this. Yeah. So after that, Stephanie went to Vince and was like, "Hey, Cena can rap," and Vince was like, "Ha ha ha! We're gonna make him marquee for one night only," and it got over. But yeah, he
the
was
Halloween episode.
Yeah. But he was on the chopping block. If he had not done that, they were gonna release him. And like at the beginning of 2004, I think. Yeah. So he was on a chopping block, stuff like that. But anyway, my main point is when she started to ask him about how he turned heel, the interview ended, and there was like
abruptly?
Nothing about it. Yeah, it ended. All you got was it showed the actual heel turn.
Yeah.
And then it was like Stephanie speaking over it, where Stephanie said, "I wanted to ask John about the character that he's portraying now, but John didn't want to talk about that." And then she just started just saying a bunch of other stuff. So it's like, so that part right there is lazy. And that's why I say that Cena is also to blame, because even though Rock blew shit up, don't forget last year, he was cutting promos on social media that were really funny, that were, adding on to the bloodline stuff,
right?
Seth and Roman and all that. So you don't have to be on TV to continue a story. You can post shit on social media to make it fun. Cena could be doing that, but he's not. He's not tweeting on Twitter or Blue Sky or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or social media in general.
Hold on, I'll be right back, my dude. Give me 1 second. You can read the chat and all that. Yo, y'all vibe with Toph real quick. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Oh, well, you gotta go. But yeah, man, that's basically all I was saying. Is that Cena was basically just, he's just doing paint by the number stuff, really. He's just cashing a paycheck, really. So, it's a direction you can fuck. Right. I started the Bianca Belair interview. Which interview with Bianca are you talking about, ballet dancers? Is it Chris Van Vliet? Because he interviews everybody. Let's see what Black Star said. Yeah, they did the wrist line, and people backstage loved it. I think the Big Show gave them a huge pop. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I can't do the Big Show. Hey, what's up, King Leo? What's going on? What it do? Hope everybody's doing good today. Like I said earlier, we got some bad weather going on, like in the Southeast, Midwest. Make sure everybody, stays weather alert and all that. You know how it is. Also, big ups to anybody out there in school. I'm pretty sure everybody's done with school now. Summer break and all that.
Yeah, man. Congrats to the high school graduates. Anybody that graduated, congrats to y'all, man.
Yeah. Hey, here's a cool story. Last Sunday, Double or Nothing, May 25th. Well, last Sunday was my 20-year anniversary for finishing high school.
Man, I never went to my high school reunion. I remember they had a high school reunion, like it was like 10 years ago, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ain't going to that shit because the people that was invited, I was like, who the fuck are these people? I don't know these motherfuckers. I ain't going.
Yeah, I got invited to mine. My reunion was supposed to be on a yacht or a boat or somewhere, like in Florida.
Oh, nice.
I ain't going to that shit. Fuck them though.
Why not? Why you ain't go?
I didn't really fuck with people from my school. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I had more fun with I had more fun when I was in college. Because in college, it's like, I don't know. Well, not like you gotta remember too, like today, like in the modern day, people
Yeah.
are way more open today about like having different hobbies and stuff. And
Right.
when I was in high school in the early to mid 2000s, there was just expectations for like what kind of hobbies you're supposed to have if you're a black dude. No, when I was in
Right.
high school, it was like you either had to have musical talent, dancing talent, or athletic talent, aka be a football player, basketball player, be a dancer, or be a rapper, or be able to sing. If you didn't do any of those things, you were just treated like dog shit. You know, now
Damn.
you can be any of those things, but you can also like anime or video games or wrestling, and like nobody clowns you. You know, but that wasn't how it was back then. So, you know,
Hmm.
I met more like-minded people in college. I can legit count on one hand how many people from high school that like I actually like, maybe like three people at most. So
I hear a lot. Like my junior high school was like my college years. Like I never went to college and none of that shit. But
mhm.
like high school wasn't really all that. But junior high, man, my junior high was lit.
I always wanted to go to junior high.
You didn't go to junior high school?
No, down here it's just elementary, middle, and high. They got rid of junior a long time ago.
Yeah, that's middle school, junior high school.
Oh, okay, different name, different name.
Yeah, it's a different name. Yeah, yeah. Be so Ballet said is the name of the show is What's Your Story? Okay, she
What's your
saw the
story?
Bianca Belair interview. Black Sauce said, yeah, they did the wrist line. They did the wrist line, and people backstage loved it. I think Big Show gave him huge props. What's the wrist line?
The one I was telling you about, where Rock was cutting a promo and Cena
Oh
mentioned
yeah,
back
yeah,
in the
yeah. They
ring.
would have the okay.
Yeah, Rock was
And
like,
off is where
"No,
you can
I'm
fuck.
oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke." Rock said, "You fucking punk." That's what he said. You fucking punk.
Yeah, yeah. Dewey curses a lot. That
Yeah, he
motherfucker could
does.
swear. Jeez Louise. I thought I cursed a lot. Yeah, buddy. Since you wasn't here for Saturday night's main event, what was your thoughts on it?
It was boring.
I
I ain't
thought it
watching
was
that shit, bro.
I thought it was
I'm
okay.
I'm happy Jesse Ventura is getting paid. That's good,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not must watch. Basically, Saturday Night Main Event is the same issue AEW has with Battle of the Belts. Shit's just it's a formality. It's a contractually obligated thing they got to do. You know,
Mm.
it's whatever. I don't care about that shit. It's not must see. So
Salute to the panel. Salute to the No Limit Soldiers. Buckle up, yo, Goose. What are you? That's a code for the killer. Stephanie Man, new podcast. Everybody got a damn podcast. If only New Jack was still alive. Imagine his podcast. Jesus.
man, it would never end. He would just do coke every episode.
Yeah, but I think Saturday night's main event was it was mid. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was trash. It definitely wasn't really good. It was mid. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It had its moments. Like I said, like,
I liked how Jesse buried the cage match. That was funny.
but my thing was like, what was he supposed to do after the concerto? Of course, he's not gonna get up after the concerto. You know what I'm saying? He's expected this dude.
No,
Um,
I think what it is it's a disconnect because as Vince Senior, Vince's dad,
yeah,
he was the one that implemented it in the old school days, like
but it had an
before
extra
any of our
W, the
time.
WWWF.
Right. Like back in the old days, cage matches like were the purpose of it was to lock you in, and like that was it. But it was Vince Senior. He was the one that introduced hey, what if you walk out the cage and you can win the match that way? So like a lot of old heads, they just don't like the idea of a cage match ending by walking out the cage or
Mm.
climbing out. They think it's boring, you know. But you got like a new generation of fans like ourselves that grew up on that stuff where it was normal, you know? Like
Yeah,
I remember watching to this day, I remember watching Brett Owen. That's one of the best cage matches ever. And the
definitely.
ending was Brett escaping a cage. That was fun. But Jesse's from old school, they don't like that shit. So to them, winning a cage match by walking away, in his mind, he thinks that makes Damien look like a bitch. And I'm like, no, because he knocked out Drew. But I get
Right. He
why he
called him with
felt
a
that
fucking concerto.
way. Right.
Like,
But
like this dude is
I
not getting up after that.
right.
Yeah, you got King Leo in the building. July 12th is wrestling day out here. What's July 12th? Oh yeah, like they got I heard they got all this shit going on. Like they got like wrestling all weekend and bleeding into Monday. Like they doing too much, man. Like
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. A lot of the WWE sweaties are getting real nervous because it's been going on right now, and I've actually been very quiet about it, and it's unfortunate because tonight is just myself and Sam, and I just assume everybody else is busy. Wish we had a full
no, we
roundtable for
all,
this.
it's all good. Like, if people ain't here, if people ain't at the table,
Yeah.
they're in the chat. We all chopping it up. We all here.
But
And
I've
whoever's
been
not here,
quiet.
they watch the upload.
Yeah, but I've been quiet about it for a couple of weeks. I have not mentioned this at all, so that's my first time mentioning this here in the show. Even Meltzer, and I know Meltzer can be really dumb most of the time these days, but every now and then he does bring up a good point. Meltzer mentioned it on the Last Observer. He's like, "Yo, what's going on with this counter programming bullshit?" Because that's been happening more. Where and the counter programming has been one sided. It's been AEW announcing something, and then WWE will then announce something right after that. That's
Cock
either like
blocking.
this, which is like either in the same day as whatever the AEW event, a week before or a week after. Like for instance, Tony kind of set this up earlier, where they're going to be running the 2300 arena. That's the ECW arena. They're going to be running that venue leading up to All In, which is cool. So they're going to do like a Dynamite there. They're going to do a Collision there. Going to do like a Ring of Honor taping there and all that. But like a week before that, NXT is going to be there, and it's like, why? You could have been there like any other time. Why specifically that? Or most recently, well, not most recently, like last weekend, you had Double or Nothing, which is like one of AEW's biggest shows, and then they had an NXT. Well, they had a TNA show as well as Saturday Night Main Event. They had Saturday Night Main Event the day before that. Then the same day as the AEW show, you had an NXT show. And
Battleground. Yeah.
Right. And let's be honest here. TNA, by all extensive purposes, is basically NXT 3.0 at this point. So you had like essentially two NXT shows.
I remember you had TNA Under Siege that Friday.
Yeah. So that's another one. So then what Black Star is referring to is July 12th is All In, but there's going to be a Saturday Night Main Event, I believe, that same day, later on that day. And there's also been a rumor that we've mentioned a couple of times that Evolution 2 is also going to be that same day. So there's definitely been a lot of counter programming, and it's been one-sided. And the WWE sweaties right now, they're actually getting very nervous.
WWE sweaties.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're getting nervous and shit because they love to say AEW is not competition. They love to say AEW is not a threat. They love to say, oh, WWE is not thinking about AEW. They love to say, oh, AEW is a pimple in a donkey's ass. If that's the case, why do they keep counter promoting this shit? What's going on? Because it's one sided.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Remember, they was whipping NXT ass when Triple H was in charge. Remember the Wednesday Night Wars or supposed wars?
Yeah.
Triple H still remembers that shit. He's salty. So since he got the main roster underneath his thumb now, and he's feeling himself because they making all this money, now he feels like, yeah, now I'm gonna get at NXT. Now I'm gonna get at AEW now. Just like
I'll tell you what I think is really going on, and this is the truth that nobody wants to admit. I think what's going on is you can hear it if you go on social media, and I know social media can be toxic. Go on Twitter. Go down the timeline. Go on Instagram. Go on TikTok. It hasn't really made a wave on YouTube yet. It will. What's going on right now is the pendulum is very slowly starting to swing in the other way. And it's not swinging so far the other way that like everybody notices it. But if you notice, you can see it. The product for AEW has gotten a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it's
nowhere near perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's gotten a little bit better. The bill for All In, which is their biggest show, is so far is way more interesting than whatever the fuck that WrestleMania bill was. Their attendance is up. Their attendance is up. Their viewership is up. Everything is going slightly better. Things are on it's a very slow upward trend. Whereas with WWE, it's like, okay, the numbers as far as like, the people that come to the main roster shows and stuff, like the Raws, the SmackDowns, the PLEs and stuff, those numbers are still okay for now.
I think SmackDown is low key better than Raw, to tell you the truth. I'll go there with it. I think SmackDown is a little bit more exciting than Raw.
That's fair. Well, I was just gonna say that, like, main roster, everything is business as usual. But on NXT, there is a decline trend, because I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. They had to move to a different venue because they couldn't fill all the seats. There was a report the other day, actually, and I never talk numbers because I don't care about numbers. I've already made that clear for a variety of reasons. But there is a report that was going around like the last week or two. I think like the last 2 episodes of Raw was like the lowest viewed shows since they've moved to Netflix. Their social engagement numbers on like YouTube and stuff is down. So I think that's what's really going on. I think what's really going on is the pendulum is swinging very slowly the other way. And I think Triple H sees that. And I think that combined with the fact that he just shot the bed at Mania, and that with what you just said earlier about him still being petty and resentful over what happened the first, which, by the way, even if you're mad Triple H about NXT getting their ass kicked, that wasn't AEW's fault. That was Vince. He was the one that made that decision. Yeah. He was the one that made it go from 2 hours. He was the one that took it away from the network.
Right, and I'm pretty sure Vince told this dude Triple H, like, look, it's about your time to shine. Like, you got this new company out here called AEW. They kicking ass. Because remember, at that time, AEW was doing like $1 million every single week, easy.
Mm-hmm.
So there was, you know what I mean? There was the new kid on town, the new kid on the block, and he wanted this dude to show and prove. He was like, "You want to get in my good graces? Go pack this new kid on the block up. Pack him up." And they embarrassed NXT. And that's when after that, Vince was like, you know what? I'll take it from here. And he took NXT from Triple H and revamped it.
And then he had his quote unquote cardiac event.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. But that's been going on. A lot of people have been reporting about this the counter programming where AEW announces something and then WWE will then do that. There was actually one tweet I saw this morning that said Triple H is putting more effort in counter promoting a different company than putting forth a compelling product. And it got a lot of hits too. It had like it had like about 1,000 likes, like 500 retweets and stuff. So
damn,
so that's what's happening. That's what's happening right now. Because right now the product right now in WWE is it's whatever. It's not bad, but it's not interesting or exciting. Like there's like maybe one.
It's boring. The shit is fucking boring, and there's no plans. Like, granted, the Money in the Bank qualifying match has been pretty decent. I'll give them that. But it's like we always see a good match, and that goes. This goes to all promotions. Like, yo, we get it. You motherfuckers can put on a good match. That shit comes a dime a dozen. We want some stories. Well, I'll say for myself. I don't know about Toph, because I remember you said from before, Toph, you don't mind like a card with nothing but good matches. That's, you know what I mean. That's how you how you watch your wrestling or whatever. But me, I love a good match. Yes, But I think a good match is a cherry on top of the cake if you have a good story to go along with it. I've always been a fan of good stories. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll go back to the times when they said this was a grown man soap opera. It was a male soap opera. Like I remember stories to this day. You know what I mean? The mega powers, Hogan versus Zeus, motherfucking who else? Boss Man versus the Mountie, Boss Man versus Nails. You know what I'm saying? Stone Cold, like Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon, The Rock versus Triple H. Those stories, I remember that's the shit I came up off of. The stories was what was, you know what I mean? The stories is what made the characters pop. That's what turned the characters into superstars, so to speak. It wasn't just, oh, let's just jump all over the place and almost kill each other, and that's how we get over. No. Like, yeah, they would do shit like that, but they would do the crazy moves after they told a great story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you be like, oh shit, that's crazy. Now I know why he did this. Now I know why he did that, because of, you know what I mean, adds to the story.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now,
hold on, let me read this real quick. Let me read some chats real quick.
Okay.
Black's also talking about New Jack, talking about how much he'll curse in his podcast. All you gotta do is bleep it out. He'll be all right. What's good, Color? Invite King Lee. Look, it's right there. I got the link right there. If King Leo want to pull up, you can pull up anytime. Saturday night's main event, the Great American Bash. Look at that. That's on the same fucking day?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's insane.
Right. Because one of the things that TK said at the very beginning, and to TK's credit, he's kept his word. When AEW first started, he was asked, will they be doing any counter programming against WWE? Meaning, like when WWE, when they do their big shows like WrestleManias, the SummerSlams, you know, like
he can't. He don't got the good story. That's and I don't want to.
No, this is before the company even started. Like this is at the very beginning.
Oh,
he was asked,
okay.
Right. He was asked, would he do that? And he said no. And the reason why he said no was because he said that's their week. Let them have their week. And I was like,
being respectful.
Totally fair. Yeah. Right. That's totally fair. So I'm looking at it from AEW because AEW's got a lot of shows too. But the two biggest shows would be, I would say, is Double or Nothing. Because Double or Nothing is their inaugural show. Double or Nothing for AEW is like Slammiversary for TNA. It was like their first ever show. So it's Double or Nothing and All In. So those two shows, like the whole Memorial Day weekend, WWE was never doing anything on Memorial Day pre-AEW. You know, because Double or Nothing has always been on Memorial Day weekend. That's an AEW thing. They're the ones that have popularized Memorial Day as a wrestling day in the modern era. Why are WWE doing shows on that? You know, so it's like they're kind of promoting AEW on their biggest shows of the year. Mm-hmm. So they're doing it too. Like it's one thing if you did one show, right? But they're doing more than one show, like Saturday Night Main Event, Great American Bash, Evolution 2. Like no, like there's coincidences and there's just like okay, we're trying to basically
try to drown you out. Yeah,
we're going to drown you out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that shit is, you know. So that's why the Sweaties are getting nervous because for so many years their attitude has always been WWE doesn't care about AEW. AEW is nothing. It's a t-shirt company. I'm like, well, for a t-shirt company, they're certainly doing a lot of they seem to be doing a lot of shit to drown out a t-shirt company show.
Right.
So you know, so I think this is
it's like at the end of the day, we lose as fans. Like we're gonna get burnt out. I don't give a fuck how much wrestling you intake within a week. You're gonna get tired. It's gonna be like you're gonna be like, come on, but like Jesus, because come on, and then it's only gonna get worse because they're gonna feel like, yo, we gotta top that. Now we gotta top what we top from before. Pause. It's gonna be mass hysteria.
That anarchy in the arena match, and obviously that match is. You know, it's crazy. That anarchy and arena match, that shit was like the most fun And I don't mean just like the match itself. I'm talking like the positive feedback I saw online. That's like the most positive feedback I've seen for a match in a long time. Like everybody across the board liked that match and have fun with it. Like even people that hate AEW was like, yo, man, this shit was cooked and this shit was fun. Like, yo, like, you know what Anarchy in the Arena reminds me of? When I was in school, we used to, I'm sure you had it too. When I was in school, we used to have, I think it was called like field day, right? The one day of the year, like where you did like outside activities and shit.
Yeah.
That's what Anarchy in the Arena is. But anyway, getting to the point, all TK needs to do is this, because I've been paying attention to TK. I've been paying attention to social media. He's been doing a good job because if you notice these past couple of months, really for a while now,
For a while,
AEW's
yeah.
just been doing AEW's just been doing their own thing. They're not throwing any shade. They're not throwing any jabs. Nobody's mentioning, WWE or any wrestlers. They're in their own lane, which is good. So all TK needs to do is just because WWE right now, they're not doing shit. They're just coasting right now. Triple H is coasting. He's coasting, and unfortunately, people are just eating it up. So whatever. All TK needs to do is just continue to book better shows because the product has gotten better. It's not perfect, but it's getting better. And just make the best all-in card that you possibly can. And if you make it good,
all he gotta do is have some stories.
right?
I keep saying that shit. Like the matches are there. We can count on these motherfuckers to put on a good match. The matches is never the issue.
Right.
We need good stories. Like 3 good. That's all we need. 3 good stories.
Right. And I'll say one more thing too. The 2 things also, like the opening segment on Dynamite with Swerve, Ospreay, Hangman.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good opening.
Like that segment.
I like that.
Like that segment and that story, and the Hurt Syndicate MJF thing. That story. The one thing that both those stories have in common, nobody knows where it's going. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
keep
very
you guessing.
good. But because to me, the worst part about WWE is the product is just so predictable. You know where it's going like 99% of the time.
Right.
I've said before, Triple H, since he's taken the pin, Triple H has only done, in my opinion, 2 genuine surprises. 1, Jay winning the Rumble. 2, EL Sky winning the world title like 2 weeks before Mania.
Right.
Most people weren't expecting that. Other than that, it's just basically just been paint by the numbers, very basic, very predictable. Like you know where it's going.
And the Cena, can't forget about the Cena heel turn. Can't forget about that.
I don't really count that. It
was unpredictable.
Yeah, but it's not going anywhere. That's the problem.
Yeah.
and if Rock is to be believed, that wasn't even Triple H's idea. It was Rock's. Well, Rock wanted Cody to turn, and then they were like, no. Then Rock was like, what about Cena? And they're just like, oh, okay.
Like, and it's like, damn, y'all don't have nothing in store, nothing. This dude just came out of nowhere and said, hey, turn this person heel. No, well, turn that person heel. Okay. Not like, yo, we was thinking about this. We was gonna do this angle, that angle. Okay. Just like that. And y'all getting paid thousands of dollars for this shit? Yo. Oh my God. I'm doing the wrong thing in life, yo. I'm doing the wrong fucking thing. If y'all motherfuckers can sit there and get paid thousands upon thousands of dollars, and y'all got all you see the meeting. I can't wait for that WWE Unreal show to come out. I want to see how much motherfuckers be in that damn writers meeting. There's probably like 20 of them motherfuckers, and y'all motherfuckers share the same brain or half of it. This shit is insane. How the fuck we can book shit on the fly like that for free? But these dudes is they get paid thousands of dollars and they don't even know who the fuck the damn superstar name is. Shit ridiculous. Cutler said, I betrayed WWE mainly because of the constant glazing of Cody Rhodes. Well, yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, hey, what do you want to talk about? I hate when because it's like, you don't have to say that shit every single time before you cut a promo. Because it's like, my dude, what the fuck you mean? What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about how this dude John Cena keep kicking you in the dick. And you should be pissed. Don't you want some more kids? No. If you got a good story milking, no, I won't go that far. Please don't give WWE.
Yeah,
They're already milking the bloodline and encroachment day as is.
all right. I had to cook John earlier. He didn't say anything back. Hopefully, he can come join in. He just shared a tweet of
What
some
happened?
dude on Twitter posted a tweet, and it was like basically the person was alleging that MVP and Lashley were Vince guys, and they just didn't like Hunter or something like essentially the person was trying to dismiss any type of criticism that MVP and Lashley, like I was like whatever, like I was like nigga shut up,
Right.
okay, like just shut the fuck up, like no, Triple H does not know how to book black people, just fucking say it, you know. Triple H, as you just said it, Triple H is milking shit. He's milking the Judgment Day. He's milking the bloodline. He could have milked the Hurt business. Now, Vince made the decision to end the Hurt business. That wasn't a Triple H call. That was a Vince call. But Triple H had the power to bring that shit back. He did it. So he shares the blame. And the success of the Hurt Syndicate and AEW is proof that there's still money to be made from this shit. They're still over. Because I remember doubters and haters on social media that were like, oh, well, who cares if they didn't get another run in WWE? Like, nobody cared about them anymore. They're old news. Okay, then why the fuck are they chanting, we hurt people?
Who said some bogus shit like that?
You know, anybody that will say anything to, deflect criticism. You know?
Like, come on.
Like
they could have been, if anything, they could have been more dominant in WWE. Right. But, this dude, Vince, swept the rug from underneath them. To tell you the truth.
There's no reason why you couldn't have gotten the same thing with the Street Profits. In fact, I think with the Profits, it would have been better because of the WWE budget. But,
remember they teased Mello joining them and all that, remember?
Yeah.
Mello and Trick. This is when Mello and Trick was cool with each other. They were showing like pics of them backstage, them chilling with the Hurt business. Like there's low-key teasing them to join.
That's the only right. That's the only thing about despite his numerous flaws as a human being. That's the only thing about Tony Norris, aka Ahmed Johnson, that I do believe him. He always said that Vince did not want black factions. And there's definitely some truth to that. Because you see all these other factions milked, because to me, Judgment Day should have ended like a long time ago. The Hurt business wasn't even that long. Like if you
they weren't. No,
they weren't even they weren't even there for like a full year. It was barely a year.
And then you got motherfuckers sitting there saying that Lashley was a two-time. Was he a two-time WWE champion? I know he was definitely a one-time WWE champion.
He was a two-time champion. Yeah,
and that's how weak those reigns were. He didn't do shit with the WWE championship. What I remember, he was only beefing with two people: Drew McIntyre and fucking Xavier Woods. That's it. And it was consistent. He ain't do nothing else.
Yeah.
Like his fucking title reigns was trash.
And in the words of Lashley, all he wanted, it wasn't like he politicked and was like, yo, man, give me the title. Give me the push, whatever, like blah, blah, blah. No. All he wanted, and this is the part that I think just gets lost in translation, he just wanted to wrestle one match in front of fans. Because the entire Hurt business run, unfortunately, happened during COVID era. The Hurt business never had a single segment, vignette, or match in front of fans.
Right.
The Judgment Day did, the Bloodline did, the Alpha Academy did, but never the Hurt business. Never. Not once. And I think asking for one match is not a big ask at all. And Vince was like, nope. Triple H was like, nope. So then they said, okay, you know what? We're going to go to AEW, and TK is going to give us that. And they're cooking. And that's cool. I like the Hurt Syndicate. It's awesome. I like the stuff of MJF. I don't know where it's going, but I like it. But as much as I like it, I think it would have been even better in WWE with the Street Profits, you know? And yeah, they're tag team champions and all, but as we said before, they're not really being used. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like we're gonna give you the championships, but we're not gonna use you. They're not really doing any segments or vignettes about okay, like who's next. Like they're just there.
Yeah, it's
There's
basically
no
like, oh,
direction.
just hold these belts, keep them warm, and shut up for now. That's basically what it is.
Right, right, yeah. That's basically what's happening. You know, Bianca's not doing anything. She's back on SmackDown. Why not pair
And
them up? You know,
Bianca Belair, another example. She was undefeated at WrestleMania. As soon as this dude got full power and Bianca Belair was on WrestleMania, what did he do? He got her pinned in that triple threat match. That's when the first thing you did, like, yo, did you try to slide in Bianca Belair's DMs? What is your fucking issue with Bianca Belair, sir?
well,
You
if you
know this is
remember,
like,
bro, if you remember, she never won the title in NXT.
no,
She
she
was
didn't.
never
No.
pushed. Yeah, she was never pushed hard in NXT. She was more
Good point.
successful. She was more
And she
successful in the
was
main
undefeated for
roster.
like what a year? She was
Yeah,
undefeated for like a
yeah.
year.
Yeah, her and Alexa were like weird anomalies. They were both more successful in the main roster than they ever were on NXT. So yeah, she's a weird one. Very, very weird.
It
So
really is. It's like, what is your deal with Bianca Belair? Like, we all know Vince loved Bianca Belair.
yeah,
But when
because
it
she
comes
was
to Triple
animated.
H, it's like, oh, I want you to try to get this person over, try to get that person over. It is like, yo, Bianca Belair is still young. She shouldn't be in the business of getting
Right.
just anybody she crossed paths with
He
over.
he was putting Bianca like in the veteran spot. Like, hey, can you just work with this girl to make her look good? And it's like, dude, like Bianca's like still in her prime. What are we doing? Like she's not Natalia.
And
No
I'm
offense
not
to
saying have
Natalia.
a steamroll through everybody. I'm not saying that at all. Don't steamroll through everybody, but still, like, don't make it look like a fucking mid Carter. She's a mid Carter.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Let's read some comments real quick. The reason I loved AEW Double or Nothing, it gave me a feeling I have not felt in white enjoyment. What the fuck? I guess. Yeah, Double or Nothing. Like, that's the thing. For the most part, like when it comes to AEW and shit, I can't really watch a full pay per view. I'm gonna say that right then and there. Like, I watch like the highlights for the most part, but when it comes to the special Dynamite shows, 9 times out of 10, when it comes to their Dynamite special shows, it be good because we be here for it and we have a
Hmm.
good time, legitimately. Too much blood in my eyes. That was the best segment AEW has done so far. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and he
the
got
swerve Osprey and all that. Yeah,
yeah,
because
and
you
he
don't know where it's going. Because I think Osprey is going to screw over Hangman, but he could help him. You know, some
Nah,
things
I
swerve.
don't think he should do that. I don't want Osprey to turn here. Like, Osprey could be that big baby face that all of wrestling needs. A legitimate baby face that's a badass and not an idiot. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And he's still a lovable type of guy. Pause. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
he's the type of baby face, like, yo, he's not gonna take no bullshit, but he's still, he still got that charm to him. You know what I mean?
And there's some improvements. There's some improvements that I mean, it's still unfortunately overall the faction's still not good. You know, the Death Riders, but there are definitely some improvements that TK has made. You know, and I'll give him
Yeah,
his
he
flowers.
has, because
Like
they're
number
not
one, I've
beefing with
noticed.
jobbers anymore, like the Dark
Right,
Order
right.
and shit like
Yeah,
that.
they're not beefing with jobbers anymore. Number two, and I've noticed this, they have severely toned down their TV time. You notice that? They don't take up nearly as much TV. They're either like in the
Yo,
beginning or
remember
they're in
that
the
time?
end.
Yeah, they'll have like 3 fucking segments
Yeah,
on one Dynamite.
yeah. He's toned down their segments. They're either, you either see him at the very beginning of the show and that's it, or you see him at the end of the show and that's it. So he's shortened their time. The Marina Shafir chick is finally actually like getting in the ring, having matches, is giving Willow something to do. To her credit, you know, she's a trooper. She takes bumps and stuff. She was in there, bump up the guys and stuff. I love the addition of Gabe Kidd. I'm a big Gabe Kidd guy. He definitely adds a little bit more credibility to the group. because who cares about Wheeler Yuta? Nobody. Claudio's just there. And unfortunately,
Don't
Pac is
let
hurt.
Tati hear you say that. Tati loves us some Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, So they're definitely making improvements to it. It's still not a good faction, but he's trying to pivot a little bit, make it better. So
I'll give you that. And I will say, yeah, like from before, TK came off as immature when it came to just jumping on Twitter and saying goofy shit and every single thing he has to reply to when it comes to retarded ass marks on Twitter and shit like that. He definitely toned that down a lot. And
that's why it's weird.
And he just got focused and he got locked in when it comes to his promotion.
That's why it's weird about the whole counter programming thing, because it's over. Because there hasn't been any shade thrown from either side on TV that I'm aware of, in a while now. So it's why are you doing this? Why are you what are you? And so that's what Meltzer was trying to say. And I know Meltzer can be really dumb most of the time, but I listened to The Last Observer, and he was just like, if the narrative that you're trying to paint is that WWE's the good guy and AEW's the bad guy, you're failing. Because if you're just booking your shows to be on the same day as an AEW show or around the AEW show, it just comes off like you're trying to scream so loud that nobody else will pay attention to someone else. So it's a very weird thing. So
we hurt people. Motherfuckers already complaining about that. Like, oh, how many times you wanted to say we hurt people? I'm like, geez, Louise.
They complain about that, but they don't complain about Steph's song going on for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, yo, they complain when the crowd participates. They complain when the crowd doesn't do anything. Like, how do we go in the middle of that? Pause. Like, how do we? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here?
Oh, and by the way, since I mentioned Seth, if we're really being honest, he should probably get a new theme song if he's supposed to be a heel.
You know what I think he should do? You know what I think he should do? He should slow that shit down, like remix it and slow down the whoa part. Like make the whoa part sound more dark.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, that works.
Like keep that whoa part in there, but make that shit more sinister.
Yeah. I still think this Becky Lyra shit is hella rushed.
Black Star say you about to eat some din. What's on the menu, B?
All right, then, Black Star.
My dude about to eat some steak.
Ooh, funny story.
Good. Some steak.
Funny gaming story. I see you. A funny gaming story. Some people have received their Switch 2s early because Switch 2 comes out next week officially. But because we live in the era of Wi-Fi, to those people who have received their Switch 2s early, it's a brick because you can't activate it because now all consoles run off of Wi-Fi and it needs a day one patch, which is not going to go online until the day it fucking comes out. So to the people that got their Switch 2 earlies, it's a fucking brick until next Thursday.
Yo, as a matter of fact, remember I told you when the pre-orders launched, the whole fucking site crashed. The Nintendo site crashed when he came out with the pre-orders. And it's like, damn, I thought y'all motherfuckers was broke. Y'all was crying broke. But as soon as 12 o'clock hit, hey, y'all come with y'all wallets. Anubis, what it do though?
I was just listening in because I haven't been keeping up with the wrestling this week. But what y'all were talking about, all I was gonna say is, yeah, WWE's always done that. They've always done that. This ain't nothing new. It's reflective of how Vince took over all the territories. Pretty much the same thing. And as far as Nintendo goes, of course it's a brick because you see what happened to the guy that illegally modded one of their games and had the dumbass idea to stream it.
Oh no!
Yeah. It's a story. You got to look it up. They basically Mighty Keith made a funny video about somebody leaking Tears of the Kingdom, and it was basically the same thing. They not only sued the guy into oblivion, but they get most of his check. He's doing jail time. I don't know if he's out yet, but he owes them upwards of like $10 million.
Hey yo,
Nintendo's petty as fuck. Oh my god.
But it's just funny if
like
you watch
my dude, how the fuck you expect me to pay that $10 million? Really? What? How am I gonna pay that?
and they're probably like, we didn't expect you to mod our shit and stream it either, but you did it, didn't you?
Like, let's really be realistic. Like, if anything, give me a fucking job. Maybe I could teach y'all some shit.
Yeah, some people always get confused too. Some people always get confused. I used to work at UPS a couple of years back, and how it works is every day when you go to a storage place, whether it's like UPS or FedEx or whatever, they always have a list, it's like a billboard or like a bulletin board or something, and it's like X amount of boxes need to be delivered by end of day. And what happens is there could be something like, okay, let's take today, right?
Totally agree, Ballet. Totally agree.
Let me take my calendar. Like, okay, today, right now it's May 31st, right? Today's May 31st. Say it's May 31st and you're delivering some stuff, but then you have a package pause in your truck that's not supposed to be delivered until like June the 2nd. Okay. But as you're driving through an area to drop off another package, but the package that you're not supposed to drop off until June 2nd is in that same area that you're dropping off the package in. So what happens is some workers get lazy and it's like, you know what? Since I'm here, let me just go ahead and drop it off early because they don't want to feel like doing it later, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so that's how a lot of people end up getting games, computers, phones, consoles, and other stuff like that that's not supposed to release to a certain day. And that's how you may hear stories of people getting their shit early, like 3 days early, 4 days. It happens way often than you think. It's actually happened as far back as the internet's been a thing. It's just due to social media, people will now post their shit online. So like, when people know about it. So if you're one of the lucky ones to get your shit early, especially if you get a game early, shut the fuck up. And don't tell anybody.
Basically,
and just enjoy your game. Enjoy your game.
But that's the type of time motherfuckers want to be on. They want to, they want to show off and be like, yo, I got this game before you. And you know what I mean?
Well, that's because of self-snitching. That's what they always talk about snitching, but who snitches harder than a person on themselves?
You ain't never lie. Ballet said, what's up, Anubis?
What up, Ballet? Always much love. I be checking out, I be seeing Ballet everywhere I run to in the wrestling chat.
Yeah, Ballet's the homie.
Nah, Ballet always cool like that. But yeah, only thing I saw was when Kenny Omega was delivering them dragon suplexes.
I love when he do that shit.
And when he was delivering them out to the whole crew. And
I love that dragon suplex. That's a snap.
Gave one to Marina Shafir.
Oh yeah. She was like, do it, you pussy, do it. And Kenny was like,
okay. Yeah.
EA canceled Black Panther game in the studio. Man, that shit.
Yeah, what's that about? I didn't even know Black Panther was even coming out with a game. Like, the game was that bad they canceled the studio too?
It was supposed to be like a game. I think it's supposed to be like based off World War II, I think. So it wasn't going to feature T'Challa. It was going to feature T'Challa's, I think, grandfather, I think.
Yeah.
Probably T'Chaka.
T'Chaka.
Yeah. It was supposed to be Captain America and like T'Challa's like grandfather or something. So the
premise
was pretty cool.
I would have been mad about that just because I'm like, if I'm going to have Captain America in a World War II setting, there better be the Howling Commandos.
Like, I want this motherfucker to have the old school machine gun and all that with the shield too.
The old school, not the round shield, the OG shield.
Yeah, the fucking triangle shit.
Yeah. But when it comes to Cap, man, my favorite Captain America off topic is Elijah Bradley. Truth, Red, White, and Black. If you haven't read it, read it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Bradley. I never heard of him.
He was the OG Captain America when they were working the Super Soldier Serum. He was part of it. Was basically a talk about the Tuskegee experiments. So he was black. He went into the German camp. He had gotten kidnapped, put in German prison. Then they put him in American prison. It was just cool because Steve Rogers went and found all of this stuff out. And he's like, they got like drawings of him next to Malcolm X and MLK. And next to
So
Red
wait,
Fox, you know, just everybody, because he
Hold
was
on,
the
wait,
guy.
so-
I'm glad
He
you
showed up
mentioned
at
that.
Black Panther and Storm's
hold on, wait. So the
wedding
first
in Civil.
the first Captain America is gonna be black or like
Well, he was black because they were still trying to work the super soldier serum out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, so basically that's what you talking about because they basically treated him like the Tuskegee
Yeah.
Airmen experiment. Like
You got to remember, Steve Rogers was like one of the first successful experiments, but it doesn't mean he was the first. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Let me find
that
out.
comic was a banger. It was called Truth, Red, White, and Black.
Mhm.
Oh shit.
I looked it up just because I went to
Ballet, I do
yeah.
your homework on that, Ballet. I'm gonna have Ballet on the case because you know Ballet, that's like our oracle over there. She's one of our
Or
Watch
Ballet.
this.
Yeah.
Watch
I
this,
I
guys.
found out about it because of Civil War. T'Challa
Watch
and
this,
Storm
guys.
got married.
I'm gonna give Sandman a stroke. Sandman. Guess who's gonna play Magneto?
I heard a few people was gonna play. Like when it comes to rumors, I heard they was trying to get this dude as a matter of fact. What's my dude name? Giancarlo Esposito? My dude from Breaking
That's how
Bad.
you pronounce it. Yeah, that's how you pronounce his name. Yeah, the last report I heard was they're trying to get Denzel to play Magneto.
I heard about that too. Yeah.
That would be
You thought I was gonna
interesting.
be mad about that? Why would I be mad
think
about
that's-
that?
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna freak out.
Nah. I can see that.
Yeah, here's one that'll freak people out. You know, Stan Lee had written for DC, like he did a couple of issues of DC Comics, and he had made Batman a black guy. This was in the 90s, way before this whole woke nonsense that they keep trying to bitch about.
I was about to talk about that, Anubis. Like, you know, with the whole woke shit. Like, now black people, you notice they giving us some people like, you know, Nick Fury, they turned him to Samuel Jackson and shit like that. Now you have strong rumors about Denzel Washington becoming Magneto. We're gonna have to give him something now. We're gonna have to give the white people something when it comes to these heroes. You know what I mean?
Actually,
I don't know.
I got something for that, Sam, man. I got a rebuttal.
Maybe Luke Cage might be a white dude from Harlem. I don't know.
They already have a white Black Panther.
White Panther. It's only fair because it's like, you know. But yo, when they officially, because you know what's gonna happen eventually. When they make Superman black, oh my God.
Why? You already have Luke Cage. He just can't fly. That's basically it.
But you think I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, Luke Cage is invulnerable by normal conventional means, that is.
But I didn't think of him as being a black Superman. Come to think of it, he
Well,
just
you can
fly.
make Superman black. The thing is, you can make Superman black because people got to remember, Superman is an alien. An alien doesn't look like any particular thing.
And not only that, he gets his power from the sun.
Right. You know, they just make him white because Superman has always had, like, you know, the whole Mr. America representation thing.
Yeah.
Well, they have a black Superman. He's called Mr. Terrific, and he's a DC character. Same powers. And that's years ago. But as far as when people say that, like they need a white guy, I'm like this.
Yeah, Ballet. I heard that rumor too, Ballet. Yeah.
But while people are, what I was going to say is, and this is something I take serious issue with every time, I'm like, oh, y'all bitching? So nobody cared when John Wayne played Genghis Khan? Nobody cared when Laurence Olivier played Othello, a black guy, played by a white guy in blackface? Nobody gave a damn then. And they always switch off characters, but now people want to get mad about it. And as far as Samuel Jackson, wait, as far as Samuel Jackson being Nick Fury, that was in Marvel Ultimates, and that was in the comic books way before they did it in the movies. And Samuel Jackson loved it and said, "Keep it going."
Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of Marvel.
Here's my thing, man. Here's my thing about the woke shit. I only got two things to say. Number one, when it comes to playing a character, I really don't care the race, as long as the actor has the charisma to pull it off. Most people are not going to ask any questions. I said this like I think 2 or 3 months ago. I know the movie wasn't very good, but Michael Clark Duncan played Kingpin in that Daredevil movie in the
And he was
2000s.
excellent.
Yeah, he
And
made
he
it.
was a perfect fit.
Yeah, he
Right.
did. He made it look cool. Yeah.
Oh
He
wait,
was
I
a
got another
perfect
one
fit
for you.
for
I got
Kingpin.
one
He
for
was
y'all.
intelligent.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Let him finish.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan was a
He cut
perfect
me
fit.
off.
He was intelligent. He was articulate. He was in shape. Nobody saw that movie and was like, "Well, Kingpin's white in the comics." No, because Michael Clark Duncan looks like the Kingpin. It's just the movie wasn't very good, which is unfortunate. But as far
Man, that
as
movie
casting
sucked.
is concerned, that's like one of the best castings I've ever seen in a movie. The second
Yeah.
thing I gotta say about like the whole race changing thing, I don't hate it, but it does. But I see where people are coming from who don't like it because it comes off as lazy. Because the comic book world is huge. There are so many like comic book characters that have never seen the big screen. Like as far as DC is concerned, when it comes to black characters, we still have not yet to see a Black Lightning or Static Shock. Like, why is that so fucking hard to do?
Especially Static Shock.
Give
Especially
me a
Static
street
Shock.
level Static Shock Black Lightning movie, man. And that shit will kill millions. It could be
Yeah,
Beth
Static
Blade.
Shock is long overdue.
Wait, what I was trying to say,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Nubis. Go ahead.
nobody bitched when Billy D. Williams was Harvey Dent in the first Batman movie, aka
Because-
Two-Face.
Because nobody even fucking know. And like, motherfuckers figured that shit out after. She's like, hold on. So wait, Harvey Dent is Two-Face? Wait, hold on. Someone didn't tell me
I've
what?
been there. Every comic book, no comic book head complained about Billy D. Williams being Harvey Dent. Nobody. And as far as like white African heroes go, they've got Alan Quatermain and Tarzan and the Phantom.
Wow, you went old school Quartermain.
Wow.
I heard that since like ninth
I heard
grade.
about Alan Quartermain since I was a teenager. Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
like
making the point that if people are going to bitch about this stuff, I'm like, at least come correct. Like they could say lazy this and all that stuff, but I'm like, they've been doing that in the movies, and only now do they want to sit up here and lodge these complaints.
We're not gonna do that, King Leo. We're not gonna do that. Like we're not gonna talk about no Jesus Christ. Steel?
Henry. Steel.
Steel.
Hey, Steel had a mean soundtrack, bro. But to be fair, I think 96 may be like the best year ever in music. There wasn't a bad album that whole year. Like every album was like top 10. Oh my god.
And everybody had and all of them had Be Real on it. It's kind of funny how that works. Be Real was on the Space Jam soundtrack. He was on the Steel soundtrack.
Steel.
Yeah.
This dude plays Steel. This dude plays Steel also. What's this dude name again from Everybody Hates Chris, the Pops? I forgot his name. Terry Crews. Yeah, he played Steel also. And he was going up against Ludacris. Ludacris was the villain.
That was John. He was John Henry. That was John Henry.
Yeah. On Netflix.
Steel is a guilty pleasure of mine, only because not even because of the movie. I just feel some kind of way just watching 90s movies because it's just like, man, I don't know, man. Like, not to be too depressing. Ever watch like old 90s movies? Like, I don't know, man. It's like they have a certain energy where it's like a world without like pre 9/11, pre COVID, where everybody was just like chill, happy. Man. You know, you could just tell like, man, these dudes didn't have a worry in the world. You can feel it. Like, there's this paranoia tension now. That's just never gonna go away. But back then,
I think when COVID hit, that's when the whole world went on reset.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I gotta laugh because I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I was dealing with danger left and right. I was in South Central LA and the South Side of Chicago. It wasn't a good time.
I'm from the fucking Bronx.
So all I remember is paranoia every day. I'm like, oh, I'm glad everybody else is finally scared. It was nice to not be the only one. I felt a sense of ease when everything went down. And that's sad to say. Hell, I remember my aunt when, that happened. She was like, I've never been so glad to be a beat cop in the hood.
Oh, she was working the beat?
She was working the beat in Southside Chicago. Right around the time that. So it's like, ain't nobody coming to the hood for that. But also, like, I love 90s movies as well, too. But when it comes to that, people say woke, I'll be sitting up here like two things. Number one, everybody misuses the damn word that shouldn't be using it.
Yeah, I agree.
And number two, most of their complaints are the dumbest shit I've ever heard because nobody complains whenever they transfer any colored character to a white guy. In Starship Troopers, the main guy is supposed to be a Filipino.
What?
Yeah, Johnny Rico's a Filipino. If you've ever read Starship Troopers,
So it's a
Rico.
comic book.
it's a book.
Yeah.
It's a book
Yeah,
series.
it's based on
I never knew that. I swear to
Yeah.
God, I never knew that.
But I'm just saying, nobody
one.
complains. Nobody complains about that. But now they want to complain.
It's because
No.
the world's changed. It's because the world's changed. Social media wasn't a thing back then. Now it is. So
Right.
No, they still can complain.
I just personally think that it's lazy. And if you want to have diversity in movies that much, just make a new original character. But they don't want to do
that's
that.
a great idea. Only problem is nobody buys the product. There's a whole milestone universe that they don't use.
Oh,
Right.
now that was my shit, Ballet. Kerry Rock, what's up, Doc? Kerry Rock.
Yeah, but what
What's
I'm saying,
up,
like,
Doc? That was
I don't
my
mind.
shit.
Like I say, they're being lazy, but they always were lazy. Hell, I mean, how many times Batman's been adapted? You know how many times they've adapted Spider-Man? And I don't want to hear this lazy
yeah.
now when it's not meeting somebody's interest.
Right.
And people were bitching back
Yeah,
then
they
in the
always
80s.
revamped. Like they revamped like shit. I lost count how much times they revamped Batman.
Hell, you know that they went crazy when Jack Nicholson was casted as the Joker. They went crazy on what they had for the internet back then. Angry letters about he can't do it, he can't pull it, he won't be able to pull it off.
Michael Keaton too. People was mad like, oh, Michael Keaton is too short. How he could play Batman? He's too short, and he killed it.
He don't look serious. Yeah. So people are always gonna whine. It's just now, like you said, there's the internet. It's just more bitching to be heard.
Old boy was a horrible Lex Luthor, though. That was bad casting. Batman v Superman, that dude.
Jesse, was it Jesse Eisenberg? I think his name is.
That shit did not work at all. That was not.
Of course, it didn't work at all. But besides him, you know, my biggest issue with that movie was, and this is like nobody ever pointed out. I put it on my YouTube. I said, "All right, I'll forgive everything, but you mean to tell me Batman didn't know who the hell Wonder Woman was? Batman, the dude who makes it his business to be in anything's business. Never heard of her? Didn't hear about a chick running around in the World War? Really?
That's Superman versus Batman, right? Believe it or not, I never really watched it.
It was
much.
It existed.
Yeah.
But that was my issue. I'm like, wait.
The long story short, Sandman, is like they tried to rush it. Basically, that was like when the movie came out. That was like when the MCU was like really like on its grind, and it was like the hottest thing in Hollywood. And like I don't know if it was Warner Brothers or DC, or I think it was really Warner Brothers. They basically panicked. Yeah, they basically panicked, and they were just like they saw the money that like Disney and Marvel was making, and they was just like, yo, like we need to ride that train immediately. It's not that the movie is that bad. The problem with the movie is when the movie was first announced, it was supposed to be a Batman movie. That it was supposed to be a Ben Affleck Batman movie. But then they said, no, let's make it a Batman v Superman movie, introducing Ben Affleck's Batman. But then when I think they did like Avengers Age of Ultron, I think that was the one that had come out up to that point. When that movie came out, that was when Warner Bros. Was like, okay, we're gonna make this a Batman v Superman movie, but we're also gonna like plant seeds for Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg, Doomsday, and the Legion of Doom. Oh, and by the way, Superman's gonna die in the movie. It was like way too much, and like 2 hours. It was like no. There's like an extended, like if you get Max or whatever, like Mac, whatever the fuck it's called. There's like an extended version that has like it's like a 3 hour. It's better, but it's still rough. So
yeah. I could rant all day about this. Trust me, I could.
But you know, we ain't gonna figure out about the bum out of the week. It's been a minute since we did the bum out of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's the bum out of the week?
Give me a second. Y'all can continue on. I'm queuing it up real quick. What's the what's the updated Money in the Bank qualifiers? Who qualifies so far for Money in the Bank when it comes to the men and the women?
Let me see. I'll check right now. Let's go to the good old Google machine.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. And did a Google machine.
Google's your best friend.
I prefer Bing, but that's because I'm weird.
I know Bing was still a thing.
It is. Microsoft.
And of course, the computer is slow. The one time
My
you
only
need it.
problem with Google is when I look for videos, they don't present them to me straight up. So I don't know. It's like links instead of like when I'm on Bing, it just has the video there and I can decide if I want to go far with it or not.
I apologize. My
Now you good? Because I'm about to
slow.
fire up the bum out of the day. I'm about to fire that shit up real quick.
Hold on. Trying to mute my mic.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just using my phone. It's way faster. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Blaze. We all appreciate you for listening and vibing with us and all that. Like I said from before, your request is coming this weekend, B. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Infamous Part 2, I'm definitely gonna have that for you. And we're also gonna continue on that Mortal Kombat XL story mode. Last time we left off, this dude Johnny Cage gave Shinnok the beats. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen after that shit, B. He beat up this dude Shinnok. Raiden got the amulet back. So we're gonna see what happens next.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're making me think of the TV show Mortal Kombat and
Yeah,
the cartoon
okay,
that
we
on
were
USA.
vibing with that. We were vibing with that Mortal Kombat XL story mode.
Right.
The current Money in the Bank participants for the men: Solo, LA Knight, Pentagon, Rollins, Andrade, and one more to be determined. For the girls, Alexa Bliss, Roxy, Rhea, Julia, Naomi, and one to be determined spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the qualifying match has been pretty decent. I'll give him that. Especially the shit with the triple threat between Penta, Chad Gable, and this dude Dragon Lee. They cooked.
Oh yeah. Except they could have they had one mess up and it could have hurt Gable bad.
They almost killed Chad Gable. Chad Gable and this dude, which is gonna be the bum out of the week, almost died this week.
Ah man.
And I ain't gonna lie, I was thinking about doing that as a bum out of the week, but I think when it comes to that Kyle Fletcher spot was more crazier than the Chad Gable spot. And the only reason why I'm doing that as a bum out of the week because we all know Adam Cole is okay. You know what I mean? So we can laugh at it now. And I'm
Adam Cole always gets hurt though.
Oh god.
Adam Cole is known for getting hurt, and I love Adam Cole.
Ready, Tove?
Yep.
Hold on.
At least Chad is all right though. I mean, too skilled to be getting screwed up so soon.
Yikes. Oh my goodness. Insane.
Yikes.
Yo, I'm just
sorry,
glad he's okay.
Dumpster. Yeah.
And YouTube, that's fair use, YouTube.
No, that is. You didn't run it for too long anyway.
Like, that's crazy. Like, when I seen that shit, I'm like, holy shit. But I'll say this, they got a story on their hands. This takes me back to the whole Sami Callihan and what's his dude name again? Was it David Richards?
Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards, yeah.
No, yeah, Eddie Edwards.
You know what I mean? They made that into a story. Go there with it. Yeah, it was a botched spot. You know, it was an accident. but go there with it. Really make
Yeah.
that dude put another layer on this dude Kyle Fletcher character. Like, yo, this dude, he'll do anything to get what he wants. The bloodthirsty pretty boy. Ooh, look at that. The bloodthirsty pretty boy. There you go.
Yep.
He got
I'm
the
down.
whole
I might be pretty,
rockstar
but it
thing
can get
going
real
on.
ugly.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a simple. I'm pretty, but it can get real ugly in here.
I'm pretty,
Well, if
but
they
it can get
build it
real
right,
ugly.
if they build it right,
Yeah.
that could be your all-in opener right there. Adam Cole and Kyle Fletcher. That'd be a good match.
Like, give us something. Give us like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, this dude is a legitimate killer because if you look at Kyle Fletcher past matches, especially the beef that he had with this dude, what's my dude named Osprey?
Mhm.
He's a legitimate killer.
I really like the I don't know what he calls that move, where like he throws you into the turnbuckle and he goes like for a clothesline, but then turns into a kick. That's cool. I've never seen that
Yeah,
before. It's a nice move.
because this
Have y'all
dude's trying to
watched
lose. He's trying to lose his spunk, man. He needs something. Because remember, Kyle Fletcher was popping from before. He's starting to fizzle out a little bit. He needs something.
Can't survive without a gimmick. Need a gimmick that somebody, you know what I mean? You need a gimmick. That's just wrestling 101. You're not Chris Candido.
I wish Cole could have had a longer run, but yeah, he should definitely be dropping that to Kyle.
Yeah,
like, for sure.
It's that time, unfortunately.
Like Kyle Cook and TK. You need to let this. Well, Kyle already appears on Dynamite, so that's not really a problem. But the TNT title needs to appear more on the show to get people to be reinvested into it. Christian was really the last person that really made people give a shit about it. Like he was, because he was on Collision like every week. The story with like Luchasaurus, Mother Wayne, and all that. Like that was really the last time the TNT title really felt like it meant something. Ever since he lost it to Cope, it's just kind of been there. So I think Kyle's definitely the right guy. Like if you're trying to get, because Kyle gets like genuine heat, you know, he's good in the ring. He's young. Like if he gets the TNT title, honestly, he should probably be like the longest reigning champ. Let him break all the records and shit. Let him cook for a bit.
That works.
I agree.
I don't know who takes it off of him though. I don't know, but we'll worry about that later, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I'm bad about it because I don't get to watch AEW just because I found out it's on Max, but it's always like past episodes.
So they don't post the replays? I could have sworn they posted replays on Max, like in the library or something.
That's what I mean. Like I don't get to catch them live or nothing. Like when y'all are having these discussions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just like with SmackDown, I catch the highlights. But I wanted to ask you something. Have you guys listened to Pro Wrestling World Order? I think he's called.
Yeah, New Wrestling World Order.
Yeah, that dude's wild. But he got some points.
He got lit real fast. I'll give him that.
He got some points though. He got some points. But I don't know.
Yeah, he I like his takes, I do. But I'm like he's on I'm not saying I don't like him, but I'm seeing some chinks in the armor here and there.
Yeah. Well, he's better than I can't say his name. I won't say his name on here because I don't feel like getting you all there and him trying to bother me. There's one guy who does it kind of annoying. You know. And I've dealt with IWC forever, but this guy, you might have heard of him. He always says fake pro wrestling.
Fake pro wrestling?
Yeah, he'll always say
the guy I've been listening to, I discovered him because I sent Sandman like one link or two. His name is Bobby Monsoon. He's hilarious. He's like one of the few dudes that I see like in the YWC, the YouTube wrestling community, that's like openly calling out Triple H on his shit. He's got like funny thumbnails for all his videos and shit.
Or like props. He brings props.
Right. And a lot of people don't want to, like, they want to kiss the ring. They don't want to say anything negative because they don't want to. But they don't want to. It's, in the YouTube sphere, it's called shilling, where you shill and you say positive stuff, and it's like if you say positive stuff, you get invited. You get free merchandise, free ticket. You may get like an early review copy of something like that. So a lot of people, they don't really come at Triple H like that. But the Bobby Monsoon dude, he doesn't care. Like he openly brings up, like he's the only person I've seen, other than myself. I'm not trying to make myself the main character. He's the only person I've seen that will bring up like hey yo, Trips, what happened to the we need a new member bullshit story in the Judgment Day with like Dom and Finn? Like that shit just got dropped. Hella cold. Like what happened to that? He's like the only dude I know that mentions that shit. So big ups to him. We need more content creators with balls out there. So.
Mediocrity.
All I was gonna say was, if I did a wrestling channel, I probably would, but I don't really.
Why not? Do it.
Number one, I like hanging out on here. Number two,
I appreciate that.
Most of mine is like I got one where I'm watching I watch a lot of classic wrestling that I'll do watch-alongs, but not often. Because I love watching, like I said, a lot of people don't understand how dope Joshi was.
Oh God, hey, this dude. He loves his Joshi. What's shorty name again that you like?
Aja Kong.
Aja Kong. So wait, hold on. Speaking of female wrestlers, does anybody know about that Tekken chick, the Spider Lady? What's she all about?
She's a Stardom chick. I'm not familiar with her catalog though, but she's from
Spider
Stardom.
Lady.
Most chicks from Stardom are pretty good, to be fair. So.
No, they're very good. In fact, that's where Io Shirai came from. Her and Kairi Hojo. They both came from Stardom.
I love Io, man. Io and Asuka, especially Asuka. I miss Asuka.
Matter of fact, they had most of the women that come to the roster have to go through Stardom. Like not like Toni Storm was in Stardom, you know what I mean? It wasn't just Japanese wrestlers. It had a lot of Americans run through. Stephanie McCure ran through there. Julia. Like, Stardom is the spot to be. But also, just like I said, I just watch a lot of old school matches. Okay. And I comment on them. And so what if I like Aja Kong a lot? I don't give a damn.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit, we all like one of my favorite female wrestlers is Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka's amazing. I saw that match she had with Minoru Suzuki, and that was brutal.
Like, what made me a fan of Asuka is back in the black and gold days. Like, I never seen nothing like her at the time.
Oh yeah, she's also a pretty good dancer too. Her final match in Japan was like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know she's a big gamer and a foodie. Like, she's a foodie and a gamer.
Yep. But
she's like a legitimate game designer. She was like working on games.
I know she was. Word.
Well, hell, people forget that Nakamura was an actual fighter.
Yeah,
him. I want to see a match. I want to see a match between him and Aleister Black.
Oh, that would be nice.
Because they was working mad stiff in that Money in the Bank qualifier. They was working hella stiff.
Well, that's Nakamura's style. He was called the King of Strong Style.
Right.
That's another reason too. I'm glad you brought that up. That's another reason too why he's been coasting. Because there really isn't that many people in WWE that can work that style to bring it out of them. And Aleister Black is one of the guys that can bring that out of them. So,
in fact, he was the leader of Chaos before Okada took the reins.
Speaking of that, I see here I don't know what go back to that. Okay, there it is. I'm looking at it right now. Ivy Nile, Liv Morgan, and
Color said NXT is dead. I don't know. Color the old NXT, it's definitely dead. But
it's dead. The new one they're trying.
The new one they got me. I get it. They trying to find their way. They throwing everything at the wall.
Well, it depends what you mean, Cutler. Like what it depends on what NXT is to you.
I think it's all about black and gold because I mentioned black and gold.
Yeah. Because if NXT is black and gold, then yes, it is dead. Which is what NXT was.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That shit definitely dead. But nowadays,
and that was more like indie hunting anyway.
But it was more than that though. Like they really all right, for instance, the hour format, perfect. And everybody that was on the show has something to do. Everybody served a purpose.
See, to me, the perfect NXT was like before shit got out of hand. Before Triple H just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make this shit like a super indie." Like 2014, 2015, to me, that's like the ideal NXT because it was a combination of like new homegrown people that most never heard of. Like you had homegrown folks so like Tyler Breeze,
Oh, I
Ty
love Tyler Breeze.
Dillinger.
He was so good.
What's his name?
You had
Prince
like
Pretty?
Prince Pretty. You had like Ty Dillinger. You
Yeah.
had Prince Pretty. You had like the Four Horsewomen and stuff like that. But you had people from the main roster who really weren't doing anything, who would then go down there to reinvent themselves, like a Tyson
Like,
Kidd
I
or
was
a
just about to say that.
Cesaro, people like
Yeah.
people like that. But then you also had like indie guys, but before it got out of hand. So you had
Yes.
guys like Neville, guys like Balor,
Sami Zayn.
guys like Joe, Sami Zayn.
Kevin
When it
Owens.
got out of hand, right. Like in the early days, when it got out of hand, as much as I love them, when it got out of hand was when Triple H signed Samoa Joe. When he signed Samoa Joe, that was what basically just destroyed the floodgates. Because as crazy it is to sound, no one ever, and this just sounds crazy by 2025 standards, but by that point, no one ever thought Joe would ever go to WWE. He has spent so long in TNA. TNA was like a dead brand. No one ever thought Joe would ever go. And people thought that like WWE would not want him. So like when he showed up, it completely destroyed, it eviscerated the floodgates. Because as soon as Joe came in, next thing you know, here's Nakamura, here's Austin Aries, here's
Yep.
Bobby Roode, here's Adam Cole, here's like it was like every other month. It was like Ring of Honor, you know what I'm saying? So and at that point, it was like, yeah, it really was just PWG on steroids with a budget. But like that 2014, 2015 period, it was like a perfect mix because it was like young guys, indie people, and like main roster people. It was like 30, 30, 30. It was like the perfect balance. It just worked. They were mostly in Full Sail. It was 1 hour, like Sandman said. Every now and then they go on the road for a big show. It was like chef's kiss. It was great.
Yeah.
But then once they fucking went to USA and it went 2 hours, I was like, okay, I see where this is going. I'm done.
Yeah, as soon as they left the network, it was a wrap. I'm like, why did y'all leave the network? That was part of the charm.
That's probably what killed the network was them leaving it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was all about the WWE network. It was right up there with.
I'm sorry, you going?
It was right up there with WWE 24/7 that they used to have on cable.
Yeah. It was an impossible situation to get put in. Like I told people then, like when it happened, like going against AEW was the worst thing they could have did. Because I told people, in the worst case scenario, if NXT failed, it's just going to go back to the network. If AEW failed, it's dead. So for that reason, everyone's going to support AEW, not NXT, and that's what happened.
Well, because we want alternative products. Because territories are dead.
A little similar to nowadays, like people's mad at WWE, so the pendulum is swinging a little bit towards AEW because people is mad at WWE right now because they ain't really nothing going on.
And that's good. Healthy competition breeds good ideas.
Yeah. Force these motherfuckers to make some stories. And these motherfuckers they gotta fucking understand. It's more than good matches. Like I don't know why they don't grasp that idea. It's great to see a Javon Evans or certain people come to the main roster and have a good match, but that's what we get a dime a dozen. Nobody's saying, "Oh, most of these matches is trash." We just want to give a fuck about the matches. That's it.
And remember, that was AEW's problem barely 2 years ago. They were giving us all these matches, but like you just said, it's like cool, but why are they fighting?
Yes. And then they would do moves like high risk moves, trying to kill each other. It's like, yo, why are you trying to kill each other? Y'all barely even know each other. What are we doing there?
And that's one of the things too that I'll give them credit for is that they've done a good job making that Owen Hart Cup mean something because the winner gets a title shot. I really like not just the match itself between Hangman and Ospreay. I like how it was a WWE like before Hangman and Ospreay came out, they both had like a video vignette. It was like something you would have seen WWF do in like 96, 90. They used to do that back in the day before a main event. They show like a vignette, give each wrestler like a special entrance and stuff. It made the match mean that much more. The winner
vignette, a backstage promo, something.
Yeah, it was really good. Like the match was great, but like storytelling, it was a great match, and like nobody knew who was winning. Nobody knew if Ospreay was winning or if Heyman was winning. They need to do more of that. If they do more of that, they can. I already think that the pendulum is shifting back on their favor. It's just doing it slowly. But if they do more stuff like that, what WWE's putting out right now, the pendulum will definitely be swinging to a point where people are going to acknowledge it. Because I see it. I see certain content creators. I know who they are. They're not saying anything. Like they stopped covering AEW. They weren't talking about AEW. Like they left. And I'm starting to see like these past, like I say, like month and a half, some of these people, they're covering AEW again. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought you were done. Like, okay, I see what it is. You see, they see the product.
They saw the peek in and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The last great setup and booking from like as far as like story goes that I saw was between Briscoes and FTR. And they did that shit over the internet.
True.
They did all the promotion and all that over the internet. And I'm sitting up here like, wow, Tony, you threw away so much money.
AEW has been better without Jericho. Another positive. That's true.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Completely agree, King Leo. Completely agree.
Well, he was just getting a big fat check to, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, remember, he be on like two segments every episode, every single week. Literally every single week. Why?
I don't know. I was a fan of his podcast. I used to be.
Yeah, I like this podcast also, but it's like, yo, my dude, you're not the young Jericho no more. It's a wrap when it comes to all that shit.
Yeah, it's over, Holmes.
Pretty much.
The fuck? Like, put your belly in your pockets and move around.
Background manager, any of that. Hype up other people.
But he's too prideful. He don't want to do that. He still think he got it, in the ring. And it's like, he ain't getting I don't give a fuck what nobody say. This motherfucker got nobody over in AEW. Nobody.
Nobody got over that works with him.
I only half agree. I half agree.
Who he got over?
He helped Sammy get over.
But Sammy been over before he was with this dude Jericho. He been over.
Sammy Guevara was over already.
No, he helped Sammy.
But
Sammy fucked that up himself.
Yeah, he did. Him being a fucking pervert.
He helped
and an asshole.
He helped Daniel Garcia get over, but then they got cold feet with the story. Like he just joined because it was called a Jericho Appreciation Society, right? He just because they teased it. They, like so that was weird. And I do think that the learning tree, as cringe as it is, I do think that Big Bill and the Bounty Hunter are a good fit. And I do think that it was helping Bill get over. But I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean when you say he hasn't put over any. You're talking about he had a feud with somebody, and then when in the aftermath with the feud, his stock is like way higher. That's what you're talking about. In that regard, I do agree. Yeah.
And it's like the other person, his opposition, whatever, they end up permanently on Collision or some goofy shit like that. And he, like, look at Bandito. I kept saying from before that, Bandito should stay on Dynamite. There's no reason why he should have Bandito on Collision.
I like his look. He's really different and really unique.
He is. And he's fun. Like, why y'all got him on fucking Collision? Not everybody watches Collision.
One guy I want to see more of. He doesn't get much TV time, but the few times I do see him, he always gives good reactions. Is Roosh? I like Roosh. I like his
Roosh is
name.
great.
I like his look.
I used to watch him here and there. He said,
Yeah, I like.
"You'll get the horns."
Right. Yeah. I like Roosh. He's cool.
He smacked up Jack Perry.
You mess with the bull, you'll get the horns.
He smacked up Jack Perry, and then Sonata came in and smacked up Jack Perry. I like that match. If you ever watched that match,
slapping this dude all over the damn place, like you getting slapped by this dude, getting slapped by CM Punk, getting slapped. Damn, motherfuckers slapping you all over the place. Like, fuck you, the Three Stooges or some shit.
The thing I like about when Sonata was doing it was because when you see that match, watch him enter the ring. He looks so disrespected to have to do this match. He didn't even use his finisher. He's like, really? This is all y'all give me? Y'all giving me this? I'm fucking Sonata.
As a matter of fact, where the fuck is Jungle Bum? Where the fuck is he?
Last I heard, he was hanging around New Japan, but I haven't kept up lately.
That motherfucker went to Japan and never came back. He was like, "Yo, fuck America. I'm staying down here."
Yeah, but they don't play that in Japan. You've got to be respectful. There's very few.
He might as well come back as Jungle Boy. Tell you the truth, like that scapegoat shit ain't happening.
It ain't working.
I thought it was fine.
I liked it. No, I liked it too. But it's not working.
I thought it was fine. It just didn't go anywhere. You know, I like the bus. You know how he just showed up in the bus. You know the thing I didn't like was I like what he was like. I get what he was trying to do. The Raven bullshit was cringe. You are not Raven. Nobody is Raven. Like the little mini Raven. He even did the Raven pose a few times. I was like, no.
He did.
That was my issue. You're not Raven.
Yeah. Raven's cool, man. Raven, like, man, it's weird. You had man, any younger people out there? Because I see younger fans like, I don't see what the big deal about Raven is. Like, man,
I didn't see the big deal of Raven. I think Raven, him and Bummy Dreamer, I couldn't stand them. I thought they was trash.
Well, here's the
Raven
thing.
Was awesome, dude.
When I was watching, let me tell you something. I knew about Raven when he was still Johnny Polo. I knew about Raven when he was Scotty. I knew about Raven when he was Johnny the Body. I mean, Scotty the Body.
Well, remember, he was like the first John Cena. Remember?
Yeah.
Raven had like silent charisma. Raven was basically the first person that I saw that was on that low key cult shit without the horror elements. It was cool. I like the Flock. Yeah, right. That's such a great name. The Flock. Yeah. That's a great name. You know.
I'll give him this. He always cut a good promo. I'll give Raven that. His promo game was top tier.
One of my favorite visuals ever from wrestling. It was so fucking cool. I loved it. And like during the Nitro days, the Flock would be like in the front row. So like if a member of the Flock had a match, they just jumped the guardrail, wrestled the match, and then went right back over the guardrail. That's so fucking cool.
It was back when Kidman was skinny.
Yeah,
right.
Who's that? Kidman, Reese, this
Bodie,
dude, Saturn,
Perry Saturn,
Sick Boy.
Yeah, man, they had a little stable. What was the other dude? Van Hammer.
Yeah. It was cool. Like one of the coolest visuals I remember. I remember Saturn had a match against Disco for the TV title, and Saturn like just squashed him, put him in the rings of Saturn, tapped out. Saturn's the new TV champion, and the crowd popped. They were into it, and then like the Flock got in the ring, and then Raven was just like, he was like, every member of the Flock jumped the guardrail and celebrated with Saturn except Raven. Raven was just like, man, fuck you. Like it was so cool. It was like Saturn. Like I understood the story because some people didn't get it. It was like, what's going on here? Like every member of the Flock was giving Saturn props except Raven. And Saturn was like, it didn't matter because even though he was the TV champion, he still didn't have Raven's respect. Like just little stuff like that. Like he got it, but people just didn't get it back then. It was too deep. It was too like philosophical story level, you know? And I guess that's what Bray was trying to do, but Vince kept fucking it up. But oh well, that's neither here nor there.
And besides that, Even Flow DDT.
Yeah, that's a great name, Even Flow. Yeah, he had a great DDT.
Shit, but let's get up out of here though. Had a great show, B. You know, minus the technical difficulties at the beginning of the the podcast, but we made it work, and we tackled on a lot of topics, and we did the bum out of the week. Yeah, buddy, and B, for the previous content that's on the channel, when it comes to that gameplay, like I said, Mortal Kombat got the Tekken gameplay, you got the Grand Theft Auto 5 gameplay. We go to Los Santos. You already know the vibes, and there's gonna be more content when it comes to that. This weekend I'm gonna be playing. I forget that shit is again.
Infamous Second Son.
Thank you. Infamous Second Son. Gonna start playing that, and I'm gonna continue on with Mortal Kombat XL with that storyline. And yeah, B, hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Thanks for the new subs. Appreciate y'all. We're on our road to 900. Don't be a twerp, and don't drink and drive.
All right.
Appreciate all y'all, B. There ain't no the vibes, B. Gonna, let's play some music. Or not. I definitely appreciate y'all patience, man, because, man, sometimes this shit be wigging. Enjoy y'all weekend. See y'all on Tuesday. You already know the vibe.
Force, cut you like a fish and spill your sauce. Kill the track with no remorse. Spit those balls till I get hoarse. Break his face like I'm the man. It's no fact that I'm the man. Want my tracks on high demand. Smack your face with a cheap pen. Stick your throat with the guillotine. One man army with a team. Wanna scheme in your dream. Cannot run that laser beam. Niggas never had that block on lock. All that bullshit needs to stop. All you do is lie a lot. I had sights right in my sock. What you do is search for a person. Pop them shits like they your search. Put a grenade in your wife's purse. Top of the grade on this nice verse. Hit you with that Novocaine. All you had yourself to blame. Most these rappers have no shame. Welcome to my hall of pain. Bumming now, so don't get better. Don't want that shit on my sweater. Go gorilla for that cheddar. Don't be a victim, just get better. Bumming now, so don't get better. Don't want that shit on my sweater. Go gorilla for that cheddar. Don't be a victim, just get better. Break graffiti in your face. Kill that beat, don't leave a trace. Hopefully don't catch a case. Opposition isn't safe. Bomber that is mad as fuck. Got it locked like Attica. Fuckery, I had enough. Growing up, I had it rough. But my family held it down. Let me get a couple rounds. Toast to my dudes at Ghost Town. Charlatans is not around. Zap the taste right out your face. Every day I paper chase. Had the safe at mother base. Use a waste of the human race. Shout come boss. Got my rivals seeing stars. Not celebrities retard. Hit in the dark, throwing darts. Now you know the consequences. Niggas on the way and hopping fences. Got it from the mud deep in the trenches. This track slaps hard, knock him senseless. Bumming now, so don't get better. Don't want that shit on my sweater. Go gorilla for that cheddar. Don't be a victim, just get better. Bumming now, so don't get better. Don't want that shit on my sweater. Go gorilla for that cheddar. Don't be a victim, just get better. Pop, there goes your top. Pop, there goes your top. Pop, there goes your top. This bumper clock will never stop. Now pop, there goes your top. Pop, there goes your top. Pop, there goes your top. This bumper clock will never stop. Burn from fire. I'ma lose it when I tell that nigga turn it up. Nobody in here have an empty cup. Better run and escape and go pray. I'm a human hand grenade all day.